In this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns, and those who dig. Broadcasting from a Montana wilderness fortress at the headwaters of the Missouri, this is Matt Christiansen Live.
Dear San Francisco, we are fortunate to live in the most beautiful, remarkable place on earth.
Many of those people probably have AIDS.
We're also resilient. HIV/AIDS tested our city to its core.
Bingo!
Fittingly, our city is home to the National AIDS Memorial Grove.
That's disgusting.
I've always honored the song of St. Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace.
I doubt it.
I will not be seeking re-election to Congress.
Oh, good for you!
It's not often that someone can become a titan of both Washington and Wall Street. I want Trump to put her in charge of the Social Security Administration. She beat the S&P 500 by 559%.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
You are fake news.
That's unacceptable.
I agree.
Very fake news.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Look at those massive jugs.
Wow.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
I hope that you die in the street like a dog.
Jeez.
All right, America, go to the YouTube right now.
Skag free, whoever he is.
Dude, Matt straight up sucks.
How dare you?
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is Matt Christiansen Live, a proud duct tape production for Sunday, November 9th, 2025. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Veterans Day week to all the veterans out there. Appreciate you and your service to this country. Sitting shotgun tonight is our friend Mark Aaron. He is Canadian, but we do allow it. Welcome back.
Saddle up, partner.
Thank you.
Follow Mark on X at LibertyMAaron, linked in the description. Also, excuse his coughing fits this evening, if they have.
Is that coming through before?
I didn't hear it.
Okay,
so good
perfect.
job. Getting over a little cold, I hear, but we'll see if we can get through it. Appreciate you toughing it out, by the way, because I also had a guest planned for the evening. There was a scheduling problem, so it's just going to be Mark and me tonight. And I'll see if I can get that guest back, because it's going to be a good one. But I don't want to. I never tease guests before I secure them, because you never know. Sometimes it doesn't work out and you sell something you don't actually have. But we'll see if we can get the guest back at a later date. And so in lieu of that, tonight it will be a scatter shot of news. Now, it sounds like there's a deal in place, Mark, to end the government shutdown. The votes, I think, are happening right. Oh, you're sad about this.
Yeah. I was really enjoying it.
It was fun while it lasted. I loved watching everyone starve to death. If you are one of the lucky survivors, congratulations. We'll get to the details of this deal. I think they're voting on it right now, or it's coming together as we speak. Get to those details in a moment. Before that, I want to talk this report from Steve Baker and Joseph Hanneman over at The Blaze. They say they've identified, or possibly identified, the mysterious January 6th pipe bomber, though the identity remains unconfirmed. Do you have a chance to see this story at all, Mark?
The first time I heard of it was when you sent me the topics.
I'm very skeptical of the story, but
I hope so, because it ruins my theory. So yeah.
It also looks like it could be very plausible lesbian violence, which makes sense to me. So
let's go with that.
We'll see if you buy it. We'll get through it in a little bit. There were a series of ICE arrests this week, as usual, as is common these days. But this week, I think, was special in the way that they were hoaxed or lied about or misrepresented. There were a series of them I want to talk about, including one that looks like a guy faking a seizure to try to delay ICE agents or stop the arrest and potential deportation of his wife. That's a new one. We'll get into that. And then the government shutdown may be coming to an end, like I said, but it was still a week. Speaking of the mass SNAP starvation, a few interesting pieces from the SNAP struggle this week that I want to check in on. Apparently the SNAP struggle is over, but I still want to talk about these pieces of news that emerged as a result of it. including, by the way, I don't know if you saw, Mark, but there was a legal battle about whether food stamps or SNAP were going to be funded. It was appealed to the Supreme Court, and you know who stopped it at the Supreme Court temporarily?
I do not.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Shocking. Wow.
I mean, it is shocking.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Ketanji Brown Jacksons she enraged with that decision? We're going to check in
all of
with a few of them. Plus,
it's going to be a new thing, a SNAP diet.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. There were a lot of SNAP diets. They were probably needed. Got some election leftovers from Tuesday, got hoax hate and more. And of course, we'll catch up with your super chats as well. Got to say hello to our friendly listener-owned business for the evening as well, and that's our friends at Hope Innovations. Have you ever wanted to grow your own garden, but you didn't feel like you had the space? With food prices rising and chemicals being added to our food every day, you might consider adding a hydroponic garden system to your home. Grow clean and fresh produce all year round with the Eden Tower from Hope Innovations. When it comes to growing your own food, invest in the best system out there and discover the joy of regularly having freshly harvested salads, homegrown herbs, tomatoes, peppers, and more with your very own hydroponic system engineered to be elegant and practical. The Eden Tower stands above the competition with its patented cup system that allows you to drop a seed and go. You do not need a green thumb to easily grow delicious and nutritious food all year round. You can get $200 off an Eden Tower hydroponics kit from our friends at Hope Innovations through a listener-exclusive link available only on my website. Head on over to mattchristiansenmedia.com/deals, find the Hope Innovations section, click that link, $200 off an Eden Tower hydroponics kit. You can get started growing your own food easily and simply today. And don't forget our friends at Hero Soap Company as well. Of course, you can get my signature soaps, Timberline and Old West, plus shampoo, conditioner, cologne, and more. But some classics are back from Hero Soap Company for a limited time, too. Lemongrass is calming and lemony sweet. Spearmint is fresh and cool, just like the chewing gum. Pick them up while they're still available. 10% off everything from Hero Soap Company using promo code MCListener. Get a great all-natural, handmade in the USA product from Hero Soap Company. You support military first responder charities as well. You support this show. You save yourself a little bit of money. 10% off everything at Hero Soap Company using promo code MCListener. HeroSoapCompany.com. Find all the information at mattchristiansenmedia.com/deals. Deals by listeners for listeners. I have a couple of announcements, Mark. My Bible study is back this Friday at 9 Eastern. We did have a little bit of a break as we finished up our prior season of the study, season 3 through Ephesians. So we've done John's Gospel, we've done Acts, we've done Ephesians. Now we're moving into the 4th season of Bible study. It will be by listener Jason, with also with the participation of Reverend Rogers, who led our season 3 study. But this one will be on Romans. And we'll start as usual or at the usual time, Friday at 9 Eastern, like we've been running for some time now. It's open to public participation. You can head on over to the Bible study page on my website, and you can get the Zoom information there, participate live. Or if you'd just like some Bible study listening material, head on over to the Bible study page on my website. Linked right there on the homepage, mattchristiansenmedia.com. You can listen to all the episodes in the entire now 3+ season study on a podcast feed, so you can listen to them on demand if you'd like to do that as well. But we'll resume the study on Friday, and for those of you who enjoy the Bible study, I hope to see you there. And if you're a new person considering it, hey, hop in. It's an interactive experience we all discuss with each other, and it's a fun time to make some new friends as well. Also, one thing I learned, Mark, I installed a voicemail inbox for the Wednesday show where we take calls and do a little bit more audience interaction. I didn't know until I got what I think was a text message to a wrong number this week that you can actually text that line too.
Oh, cool.
So someone, I guess, was trying to meet up for something. They weren't trying to hang out with me, but I got a text through that line. You ever get a text like that from someone's like, I got one. Did I ever tell you about this crazy story? One time I got a text message from someone random that clearly was given a number from a girl that wasn't real.
Oh, okay. And it was they texted you.
It happened to be me. And anytime you get a text from a wrong number, you have that moral dilemma. Should I let this person off the hook or should I troll? You ever face that dilemma?
Yeah, I tend. It's one of the very few areas in life that I take the high road.
Have you ever trolled?
I don't think so.
Oh, you got to try it.
Well, I
sometime.
do, but just because I get spam texts constantly.
You should troll those, especially political ones. You should definitely.
I'm not
troll
judging.
But this time, I mean, the message was something like, "Hey, really enjoyed our time together. Would love to see you another." It was clearly a guy who was trying hard for a woman he had met, and I just didn't have the heart to troll that, so I had to let a bro down. But one way or another, I can't remember how it happened. His friend knew who I was. So we're trying to get him to call into the show.
He ended up with drinks down at the bar.
Well, it's like his friend happened to be a listener of my channel or my stream. Oh, wow. I can't remember how the dots were connected, but it was like a guy got a random number from a woman. It happened to be mine, and his friend was familiar with who I was. It was a crazy small world.
Did you text back, "Hi, this is Matt Christiansen"?
Yes,
this the person you're looking for.
The super chats are accurate. You can meet me at this bathroom stall for a good time. I think that's how it happened. Yeah. Anyway,
I am gay.
The reason, this is a very roundabout way of saying I discovered through a text message to the wrong number. You can text the show for Wednesday. You don't have to leave a voicemail. You can actually text that line too. So if you're interested in participating in the Wednesday show by text message, there's a phone number in the description. You can text the show that way, and we'll respond to your text messages on Wednesday as well. But did you see Mark? Are you even aware that maybe you saw Stormy Daniels this week? You might not know it was even her if you saw this clip. You haven't seen this? No, you didn't. So you didn't even see it.
I don't know.
I mean, what happened to Stormy Daniels? Where did she go ever since she was part of the?
Is this a glow up or a glow down?
It's. I don't think there are any more depths to glow down to. You can't. It was definitely not like this. Yeah. But Stormy Daniels has kind of disappeared ever since the alleged successful prosecution of Trump in New York City on the basis that he circumvented federal election law by paying her hush money in what amounted to an in-kind campaign contribution. And Alvin Bragg had this complicated theory that nobody could even explain. But Trump, of course, was guilty of 34 felony counts of improper business records or something like that. Stormy Daniels apparently has a comedy tour. It's called...
Okay. Sorry. It might be, that was you got me, yeah.
It might just be her face. It's the comedy tour. But it's called An Evening of Comedic Storytelling with Stormy Daniels. And this is actually a couple weeks ago, mid to late October here. She appears on a local Chicago station to promote her tour stop. And I don't know that anybody has ever hit the wall as hard as this woman has. Here is a clip of Stormy Daniels, and if you didn't know, you might not recognize her.
All that defines me, and the best part about when the people come in, the hecklers or the trolls, is they sit there and they don't get any of that until the end. My favorite part of the show is, of course, I do my set, and I talk about everything from my time in my other industry to being a mom, to horses, to, yes, political stuff. But the best part is when people come in tonight, they will get a note card and a pen, and they get to write questions, and it's anonymous but live Q&A. So for those who follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter,
sure.
They know that don't ask something you don't want to know the answer to. Really? Put it that way,
that's a huge bitch.
Maybe she's the opening act for Nelly Furtado. What's going on?
The jokes write themselves, but I compiled some of my favorite ones on X. More like buffet Storming Daniels. Am I right? How about this one? You tell me your favorite, Mark. Stormy Daniels, more like Tsunami Daniels. Am I right?
Ooh.
Well, at least we know that Stormy hasn't lost her SNAP benefits.
That hurts.
Unfortunately, the chair beneath her did snap. I guess that's what happens when you eat too many ding-dongs.
Oh my God, that is funny!
Okay.
It's a penis reference.
Thank you for clarifying for those who may not have understood.
Just in case. That's why I'm here.
There's also a video of Kevin McAllister of Home Alone fame. Of course, the famous scene, but I guess he finds Stormy even rougher than Buzz's girlfriend.
Woof.
That one is by Drefanzer Memes on X. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but credit where due. You mentioned you don't necessarily remember what Stormy Daniels looks like. Does this ring a bell?
The shape there?
Just anything. Her face, the figure.
Yeah. You know.
Okay. Well, I would say
the writing Stormy across the screen that looks familiar.
I think she's got to update that silhouette.
Yeah.
And probably the photo as well. Now, maybe out of appetite for cringe, you have an interest in attending this tour. If so, I regret to inform you there are no upcoming tour dates. So I don't know if she was promoting the end of it or if all of them got canceled or what happened.
That's odd. Maybe it's just, it's sold out so much that they had to.
That's got to be
not show the dates.
Yeah. Tickets no longer available. Right? Demand too high. Did you see the viral coffee attack in Michigan this week?
Briefly, yeah.
So
first
angry
of its kind.
I guess it has happened. I don't know. I haven't seen a ton of McDonald's coffee attacks, but
I just mean rowdy restaurant behavior. This is
this is more Waffle House type tomfoolery, I would say. But yeah, I understand. But anyway, an angry McDonald's customer throwing hot coffee at the store manager. This is near Saginaw, Michigan, and this happened on Tuesday.
She would improperly and apologize to somebody for being there over an hour. That's what you can have. Within 20 minutes. Fuck you. Nah, catch that hot ass ball.
It's not against the law, ho. Fuck you.
It is, in fact, against the law, though. I think felony assault may be the charge. I couldn't tell. I think she says when she throws the coffee, much like LaDonna, catch that hot-ass coffee, ho, I think is what she said. Is that what you heard?
I could make nothing out that was spoken.
Oh, okay.
But I have no doubt she was promptly arrested and prosecuted, though, right?
Well, they have identified her. She is Kashara Brown is her name. And according to witnesses and the people who took the video, this argument was all over a mobile order that was not delivered or was delayed. And so the manager at the McDonald's, who's yet to be identified, she offered Kashara Brown a refund that was not acceptable.
That's unacceptable.
And so now there's a warrant out for Kashara Brown's arrest, but police are searching for her. They know exactly where she lives, but they have been unable to locate her. So I guess she's on the run for this coffee attack.
So can the manager now sue McDonald's for the coffee being too hot?
We're going to go full circle on this. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Apparently she's okay. I guess according to the witnesses, it really didn't hit her face. She turned enough.
Yeah. I think she looked like she was a good, a couple steps away. So it got to cool as it traveled towards her.
So hopefully she avoided serious injury. But yeah, I mean, you take a whole cup full of scalding coffee to the face, you might have a severely damaged face, unfortunately. Hopefully she avoided that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get a new McDonald's coffee lawsuit going on here. I regret to inform you, Mark, and everybody else, it's happened again. And it seems unstoppable at this point. Not just another Indian guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Is there a such thing as an Indian man not named Singh, or is it just the ones who drive trucks? Because
I hear it's common.
This is like Pakistani guys named Muhammad. Is there any guy who isn't? I guess.
Yeah, no. I mean, they just rounded up like 4 guys here, Ontario men and sing.
Ontario Asians.
Yeah, Ontario men who happen to be in Ontario at the time of the crime. Yeah.
Well, there's another Indian guy named Singh who crashed a semi-truck into people. Actually, this happened a little while. This was more of a pioneer Singh, not a current Singh, but he's still part of the trend. Crashed a semi-truck into people. This time was in the UK. I should have grabbed one of the tweets, but in reaction to this,
a founder.
He is a founder of this trend, yeah. But this video was tweeted out. That's how I found it, and a lot of the reactions responded and said every single time. Well played. But first, it was Harjinder Singh, at least in the recent events. It was Harjinder Singh driving a big rig in Florida, did an illegal U-turn on the interstate, and a bunch of Haitian immigrants crashed into his trailer and died.
Yeah.
Then you had Jashanpreet Singh driving a semi-truck in Southern California. Apparently, he was on drugs, and he just crashed into a bunch of stopped traffic. Both of them killed 3 people each, a bunch of injuries as well. Well, now in Sussex, which is in southern England, you have Kuljinder. How do you say this one? Kuljinder Singh.
Yeah, that sounds right. Kuljinder.
Yeah. Driving down the highway, likewise failed to stop for traffic, seriously injuring 3 people. My understanding is no deaths in this one, thankfully. And as I mentioned, this one happened in 2022, but it's back in the news this week because Kuljinder Singh is now sentenced in court, but the dash cam video of the crash is now public. Stop me if you've seen this one before. Okay.
Jeez. No, I have not.
There's some video of the aftermath from the 911 call.
Car on the A27 between Tesco's roundabout and the Stockbridge thingy, but a lorry's hit a car and it's really, really bad. Yeah, he smashed it, it's rolled over and everything else. But yeah, I've got 2 in the car that are in a bad way. Okay. I've got another car full of kids and everything else in here. There's blood in there. And then there's another car on its roof that is a bit up. There's someone trapped in the car as well, and they're holding it up.
Okay.
He's not in the traditional headwear, I notice. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the rules are on that, but I guess
I didn't know they had this issue in the UK as bad as we have it here.
Hey, anywhere there's Indian guys named Singh driving trucks, I think you have this issue.
Yeah. No, I didn't know they had Indian guys named Singh driving trucks. I thought that was a uniquely North American blessing.
I don't know. You know what they say, we are the world's cultural leader. Everybody follows. Right. So, yeah. Although, this was a few years ago, so maybe
this was an originator. So
yeah. Anyway, what caused this one? I'm not clear. Police say it was not caused by substances or cell phone use. Just caused by the natural law. It was an Indian guy named Singh driving the truck.
Yeah. Need no more.
That's what happened. So Singh pleaded guilty to the charges in October. He's now sentenced to 3 years, 10 months in prison, which is almost as bad as the people who post memes in the UK. They get
right. Yeah, no, that's
5-10
far
years.
More serious.
Yeah, don't post a meme about a Singh driver in the UK. Otherwise, you'll be his cellmate.
When can we start going after whoever is licensing these people?
It's an interesting.
Weren't they handing them out in California? They're just like, oh
yeah.
Here.
Well, California has been a problem because they do these non-domiciled commercial driver's licenses to people who, number one, barely speak English, but number two, have a legally questionable presence in this country because they're let in under Biden and they say the magic word asylum. And while they're waiting for their asylum hearing in the year 20 infinity, they get a worker's permit, which allows them to pursue one of these non-domiciled CDLs.
Well, and I saw there was a governor of some state who was ticketing or going after drivers, and he was he posted several pictures of their licenses from New York and California with like no name given.
I've seen a few of those. I don't know. Are those? I don't know if those are legit or not. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
I'm pretty sure it was like a governor who was posting it. So
yeah.
I mean,
it's not one of those like fake joke driver's licenses you buy at a.
Oh no, it is. It's just the joke is our lives and the fake is our countries.
Yeah. No, but don't you remember when you go to a truck stop and then have all those joke licenses? But these are real, like you're saying.
Real fake joke licenses.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, okay, well, we will continue to monitor the unfortunate trend as it develops, but I want to talk about this January 6th pipe bomber story. This was released over the weekend. Steve Baker, who's done a lot of great work on January 6th, someone who's probably looked into January 6th more than anybody, Steve Baker over at The Blaze, and Joseph Hanneman. This report comes out in The Blaze over the weekend, allegedly a bombshell report in which they claim that they have or may have identified the mysterious January 6th pipe bomber. So, quick recap, recall that these pipe bombs were placed at both party headquarters in D.C. the night before, January 5th. And even though the person is, as you can see here, and as we've all seen on video, the person who did this is seen in all kinds of pieces of surveillance video. Some of that surveillance video shows this person using a cell phone, which should mean that we can track this person or the use of that cell phone. Even though it's not like this person should be that hard to identify, the person has remained unidentified in the almost 5 years since. And now we have this potential ID on who this is, though it's not confirmed, and you'll have to decide if you believe the evidence to be legit or not. But what is the evidence here? Well, and who is the person?
That, sorry, are the 4 pictures framing the one in the center? Is that the suspect? Is it?
This is all the same
female
woman
that I'm looking at, right? Okay.
Yeah. You got to ask these days, but yes. Yeah. It's all the same person. They are saying that is former Capitol Police officer. Her name is Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff, and she was at the time a Capitol Police officer. She remained a Capitol Police officer until the summer of 2021, at which point she moved on to work security for the CIA. I'm unclear if she's still with the CIA or if she's doing other things now. She lives in Alexandria, Virginia, according to the report. But how have they identified this woman as the pipe bomber? Well, they've used some sort of gait analysis. What is a gait analysis? They have hired an unknown person or an undisclosed person or analyst to look at all the pieces of video of this pipe bomber suspect and compare that with pieces of video of this woman. She was a soccer player for a long time. Other pieces of video that they have of her, and their analyst says that her gait, her walking style, so the way that her joints move, the distance of the steps, the body posture, that is all a 94 to 98% match. Now, how reliable is that?
Yeah.
What does that actually mean?
What is the standard on gait forensics?
Like, how much do I match with my own gait? Am I a 100% match day to day of my own gait? These are questions I have about this, but
yeah, it would depend on how many injuries you have and things like that. Yeah.
But so former Capitol Police officer went on to the CIA. We don't know a lot more about this woman, soccer player for a while, and a lot of that footage is what they used to compare the walking and running style. Now, there is maybe some other evidence here in terms of who they're talking to. The report cites former FBI Special Agent Kyle Seraphin, and he's saying they were in on it, referring to the FBI and the Capitol Police. Why does he say this? He says because he was actually deployed by the FBI to monitor some area right next to this woman's house right after January 6th. And then for unexplained or inexplicable reasons, he was pulled off that surveillance detail, or the whole detail was just canceled and moved on to other things, and he doesn't know why. So he's saying it's very weird that we were right next to her house and then they moved us all away from that area. And I don't know why they did that, but it would make sense if she was in fact the person. Though, to be clear, unless I'm misunderstanding this report, Kyle Seraphin does not have direct knowledge of the identity of the pipe bomber. He's just connecting
But he was there on this case, or he was there just as a general surveillance thing? I mean, the whole thing is kind of sus, like her working for the CIA right there. I'd be like, okay, yeah, she's guilty.
She was, say no more. I'm convinced.
Yeah, that's it.
She apparently was working campus security for the CIA. Like whatever their campus is, she was a security guard
like
there.
CIA campus, okay.
Yeah.
Some 21 Jump Street stuff.
Yeah. Now, as far as the surveillance detail, I don't know. He's just saying I was there. We were surveilling the area right next to her house. I don't think he knew at the time, obviously, but I think he has since, from this report, connected the dots because they know where she lives. They say it's Alexandria, Virginia. I believe he's connecting the dots on where she lives to where he was deployed right after January 6th. And then in the report, there are some other... They just cite unnamed intelligence sources as being in agreement or confirmed. Their report is confirmed by several intelligence sources. Who are they? Unnamed. You can decide if you find that credible or not. As far as I've seen, Shawnee Kirkhoff, the Capitol Police, former Capitol Police officer who is accused in this story, has not responded to the report. FBI, DOJ also not commented on the report as far as I've seen. And there are some important counter considerations here. Actually, before I get to the counter considerations, one other note. She was actually a part of the prosecutions, this woman was. And by that, I mean she testified against January 6th defendants. One of the famous January 6th defendants was Guy Reffitt. And I don't know if you remember this guy, Mark. But do you remember the guy who had his son turn on him and report him to the FBI and then testify against him?
I remember hearing something about that, but I don't remember what the guy did.
He got caught. I know he was one of the few who had guns in his car. There was some kind of gun charge.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I know that things got violent with him too. I don't know what exactly his charges were, but I think he was convicted of felonies and he spent time in prison until the Trump pardon. But that was a fairly high profile case. It was the son turning on the dad, turning him into the FBI, testifying against him. Apparently, this cop, this Shawnee Kirchhoff, the woman accused in this Blaze report, testified against him at the trial, called him a domestic terrorist, and was present at his sentencing too. And Guy Reffitt says he was actually shot by her, and by that he means the non-lethal rounds, I believe, that were deployed on January 6th. And so he says
she was active duty during January 6th. And
that's what he's
retired
saying.
And went to the CIA.
That's what Guy Reffitt is saying.
Well,
I don't know if it's confirmed
motive.
that she was present at the riot or not, but he's saying she was there. So you have whatever her role was, she was definitely involved with January 6th prosecutions, if that factors into your consideration of this story at all. And then, but there are some important counter considerations that I do want to emphasize. Number one, it's not as though this gate analysis is a brand new thing that nobody's ever done before. I've not looked at this as a method closely.
Yeah, it seems really, really sparse. Like your suspect, you'd have to have lots of video of them walking, which is not a super common thing. And then how does it exclude other possible suspects? Like you could be like, wow, that person walks exactly like that person, but how do you know someone else doesn't walk more like that person? So I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if you could prosecute based on something.
People are wondering why there aren't any charges. Well, it's because generally speaking, gait analysis is not sufficient for conviction, or even you bring a charge at your own risk there, because you're probably going to get, I'd be surprised if you could secure the indictment from a grand jury based on gait analysis, but I don't know. The prosecutor
they can indict a ham sandwich.
I guess if you can bring the Stormy Daniels case, maybe you can bring this one. But this is some kind of counterpoints from Daily Kos, a left-wing publication. But as far as I gather, it's true. I mean, the American Bar Association is commenting on gait analysis as a legal practice. When it's introduced in court, it's usually supplemental. It's something, it's corroborating other pieces of evidence. It doesn't sound like it's commonly deployed as primary evidence for prosecution. And the other, it's not even that I have a problem with gait analysis per se, but we don't know who the analyst was in this story, what firm that analyst is with. So we also don't know the analyst's methodology. We talked about that mysterious 94 to 98% number. What does that mean?
Right. Of what?
Percent of what? And how are you calculating that? We have
and
no
it's
idea.
Unidentified.
We don't know
analyst?
we don't know who the person is. It's not, the person's not named.
This is really, it's getting weaker as we go.
And because we don't have the person or the firm, we don't know about their past work, how credible we might consider them. But we also, without the methods and us being able to look at how exactly they calculated this match, you don't have any kind of independent review or any kind of peer review. I'm not saying it's all wrong. I mean, could I believe that this woman is the pipe bomber? Yeah, I mean, the stature generally matches.
The spookiness, definitely on the inside kind of leans me towards it. But other than that, just the gait analysis is pretty weak.
Yeah, and I wish there was more information from the Blaze about this to review ourselves. Also, another factor for consideration here, there's a reporter, Brianna Morello. And Brianna Morello, as far as I understand, I don't know her work well, but I do not believe her to be some crazy left-winger. She's formerly with Fox and Newsmax. She says that she has a federal employee source with knowledge of the pipe bomber investigation, which is still ongoing. And she says this person does not believe that Kirchhoff, this Capitol police officer, is the pipe bombing suspect. A source says they know where she was at the time, although if she was at the Capitol on January 6th, as Guy Reffitt was saying, and
But if she's testified against people about January 6th, that would put her there, right?
Yeah, then I guess she could have taken a red eye and showed up for work in the morning, but it does seem likely that she was at least in the general area. But I assume if this person has a rock solid alibi, the one thing I find out about this is if there is an alibi, why isn't this person saying what that is? Or why isn't Shawnee Kirkhoff herself just saying, I wasn't even there. I wasn't in the area of the party HQs on the night of January 5th. Now, this report came out yesterday, so she might be working on a response right now, for all I know. But plenty of reason to, if not doubt, at least have important questions about this report. Now, as far as my own opinion, I would be a lot more interested in it and find it more credible if the Blaze would be a little more forthcoming about that analysis. If I could see who did it, how they did it, if you could show me the methods and we could all sort of, or even can we review some of this footage?
I want to see the chalkboard with the lines.
Yeah.
And who's the Blaze? That's the guy, right?
Glenn Beck and that
guy. Yeah.
So if you can show me how that 94% number was calculated, if we can see some examples of these videos that were analyzed, that would help me have a little more confidence in this report. Maybe they'll decide to do that. I don't know. But they're not, without even seeing some of the video that demonstrates the similarity, all I have to go by is their Trust Me Bro 95% number and some images that look like this woman is of generally similar stature to the pipe bombing suspect.
Yeah, and I want the conspiracy. Like, what was who's she connected to, and does it fit my theory that it was just to have an excuse to clear out everybody before the FBI stormed the Capitol?
Well, explain that theory a little bit more, just so I understand.
Well, just because, okay, so if the FBI were there to induce a potentially dangerous riot type situation, you can't control for every possible outcome. So you'd want to make sure that your people were safe. So you'd do you plant something. You say, there's a bomb scare. Everybody get out to safety. And okay, guys, now go storm, and you know that no one's going to get hurt.
The weirdest thing about that, though,
except
seen
for
that,
innocent protesters who get shot in the face.
The DNC pipe bomb, the pipe bomb at Democrat headquarters, Kamala Harris herself walked right by it, and they had a bomb sniffing dog right next to it.
Were they actually? Because I know they had the explosive material, but were they actually legitimate explosive devices? I still haven't heard anything concrete on that.
I'm sure the information is probably out there, but yeah, could they actually have detonated? That I don't remember. I know they had like kitchen timer things on them.
Yeah, like they had bomb stuff.
Yeah.
But was it actually a functional? That would sway me one way or another.
That I don't know. But I guess my question for your theory, if they were intended to have a plausible reason to clear friendlies out, why didn't that happen? Why didn't they use it as a premise to clear friendlies out?
Didn't they? Didn't they evacuate?
They were discovered. Well, maybe you're right. I can't remember the timeline.
The bomb scare was called in like an hour before the
maybe
Capitol
I'm
was
confused.
Breached,
I thought they were discovered like after the riot had started, but maybe I
don't know if they found them, but they were tipped off before.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'm mistaken.
Fact check me on everything.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to come up with a joke for her last name.
My only Kirkhoff. You can't think of a joke for Kirkhoff?
I'm very disappointed in myself right now.
Well, I mean, obviously jerk off, but that looks like a woman
where's the joke? You know,
she looks like a woman with whom I would not want to
call her not Kirkhoff.
All right, I tried. Okay,
yeah,
that's the best I can do for you.
That's disgusting.
You want to talk some ICE arrests?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, there were several. There are several all the time. It's not enough, unfortunately, but we're doing what we can. And every time there are these ICE arrests, of course, you have often violent resistance in these cities where the violent resistance is allowed, like Chicago or LA. But you also have immediate propaganda, lies, misrepresentations, sometimes even hoaxes about what's going on. And there were a series of those lies, misrepresentations, and hoaxes this week that I thought were particularly interesting. I want to take you through three of them. But in Illinois, Congressman Mike Quigley represents a Chicago area district, and he said ICE isn't going after the worst of the worst. This morning, they took a preschool teacher without a warrant in front of the children. Oh, my God. And he tweeted a video of this arrest scene. And you can see agents dragging this woman from some sort of preschool or daycare facility.
Good.
And she's fighting, she's resisting, but they get her under control. Now, the truth of what happened there, because they make it sound like it was like she's some daycare
like
staff,
a random teacher,
or a preschool teacher or something like that. She is not. When you actually read the truth of what happened here, she's an illegal immigrant from Colombia. She was riding around with a guy who was driving a car that's registered to an illegal alien. I think it's him. But they're both illegals driving around this car. The car's registered to an illegal. ICE tries to pull the car over. And again, it's this, I don't know if it's her boyfriend, husband, whatever the guy is. He's driving. She's in the passenger seat. At one point in a parking lot, they ditch the car. They flee on foot. And this woman fled into the daycare, thus putting the children inside in danger. But she's not a teacher.
Maybe they immediately gave her a job. You don't know that didn't happen.
You're hired. I mean, it would make sense.
These are jobs Americans don't want, and she just walked in there, perfect fit.
She lied about her identity upon arrest too, but the woman is accused of hiring human smugglers to bring her children in. So she came to the country illegally in 2023. Her name is Diana Patricia Santillana Galeano, I think is how I say that. Probably not, but that's her name. She's from Colombia, came to the country illegally in 2023. And then the reason they're trying to track her down is she actually is accused of hiring human smugglers to bring her teenage sons here. And they were smuggled into the country last month in October. So that's why they're going after this woman. But, daycare worker just brutally attacked in front of children is what we're all supposed to believe.
There's so much right now. I see it nonstop. Luckily, I am a community notes contributor, and it's been
congratulations.
It's been fun. Thank you. It's actually one of the joys of my life. Yeah.
Honorably and impartially, or do you do it?
No,
for
I am.
reasons?
I'll call it out on both sides. I'm very down the line, but it's heavily slanted to one side, of course, which is why they hate Twitter.
What was your latest
X, formerly known as Twitter?
Thank you.
Got to make sure to get that in there.
What was your latest fact check?
Hang on. I just did one yesterday about that the English are actually an ethnic group.
Someone had claimed otherwise.
Yeah, half the politicians in the UK.
Is it that they don't? Is it English is too specific, or white is not an ethnic group? Or
no, well, there's a whole debate going on right now. I know Americans are very like America centrist kind of, but in the UK, like there's this whole that immigrants are English too, because they're like, if you're born there, suddenly you're English.
Yeah.
And the English are like, they've been there for a while, and they're actually an ethnic group that is indigenous to that place. And you don't just get to become one, you have to be born one. And so there's a big debate there.
And so, okay, but as a community notes guy,
well, because someone had tweeted that an Irish person and an Indian person were both English, and clearly they're not. And so
do you have to have a source cited, or is it just?
Yeah, I cited Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
What is English ethnicity? And it is a person with a heritage in England. Yeah, it's shocking stuff.
What about Sadiq Khan? I'm going to get into him later in the show. You can tell me if he counts.
I would step out on a limb and say he is not English.
Just a gay Muzzy terrorist.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I think he's from Pakistan, which, as far as I'm aware, would make him a Pakistani.
His parents he was born in London.
Then he's a London-born Pakistani.
We will reignite.
You could say I'm a citizen of the United Kingdom and born in England, but it doesn't make you English. Like the best comparison is what's his name? I think Rudyard Kipling, who was an Englishman who was born in India during colonization, And when the Indians fought against empire and won back their sovereignty, they swiftly evacuated all British people, including this poet, for not being Indian, even though he was born there. And so, yeah.
Well, it's fair to consider it the other way too. Yeah, for any dispute people might have, if you or I were to take our families to India and we
had a child,
had a child in India next year,
Indian? Yeah.
Is that child Indian? I don't think I would call that kid Indian, and I don't think Indians would call him Indian.
As soon as you switch it around, it's like very, very cut and dry.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we're supposed to just go, oh yeah, okay, born in a, what is it? Well,
how do you? This is really interesting because I don't dispute your point, and I think it's valid for the reasons I just described. But how do you dissect the legal issue? That is to say, like Sadiq Khan is legally an Englishman or a UK citizen. But
that's it. There is no legal issue. Legally, he is part of, again, once you get into the UK, it's super complicated because you have Great Britain, which is the island on which there are 3 countries, which make up part of the United Kingdom, in which there are 4 countries, including Northern Ireland. So it's really technical there. But ethnicity isn't a legal matter. You can be, so they call it, there's civic nationalism and ethnic nationalism. And the civic nationalist is that idea of like, as soon as if you're born in a place, then you're a citizen of that place. And then this is where the gray area is. And this is where there's a lot of conflict right now, is the people, because they have a civic identity or a passport, or were born in a place, they're basically it's like cultural appropriation in a sense. They're saying they are of that place, which is a different thing. That's an ethnicity. That's people with a shared history, language, and culture in a place.
And your fact check was...
People are trying to muddy the waters and claim that one is the other, and I find that extremely insulting.
Yeah, and your fact check was specifically about ethnicity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, because they were saying, because English is only an ethnic marker. It's not a civic identity, really. That would be British or...
There you go. Thank you for this lesson.
No, you're welcome, Matt.
Appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for.
Ready for another ICE arrest hoax?
Do it.
In L.A., video supposedly showed an ICE kidnapping of a toddler after the arrest of her father. Now, her father is a U.S. citizen of some sort of Hispanic descent. But, of course, the narrative here is that ICE targets brown people for no reason at all. In fact, they kidnap their kids. Here is some of the video that was circulating, supposedly showing an illegitimate race-based child kidnapping.
The guy was doing absolutely nothing, bro. He was doing nothing, bro. He got the toddler in the back. And they about to drive.
In the car seat, in the car.
Look at that. Going in.
And they're in there with guns.
Wow.
Their faces.
Look at that. In the car with guns with the baby. Look at this scumbag right there. Look at that. Look at that with a baby in the back. Look at that. Look. Look at this.
The dead giveaway that he was doing something wrong is the guy taking the video narrating and saying he did nothing wrong, nothing at all. He was absolutely just minding his own business when he was.
That's how you know. I hear that holds up in court.
Yeah. I don't know. It might be more credible than
stronger than a gate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude did nothing wrong. Didn't you see the video?
Yeah. Well, so there's this LA Times reporter, Brittany Mejia. Brittany Mejia quotes Maria Avalos, the guy who was arrested, his father, so the grandmother of the child that you saw there. What are they doing? Are they kidnapping my granddaughter? Okay, what actually happened here? This guy decided, again, he's a U.S. citizen, so he's not actually arrested for immigration reasons, but he decided while driving around his daughter that he was going to stop his car. He saw some sort of ICE operation in progress. Decides he's going to stop his car, leave his daughter in the car, take a hammer and a rock and start chucking rocks at the ICE agents. He starts violently interfering with ICE operations. He then gets himself arrested. And as more information comes out, the narrative is still spinning. Oh, okay. Well, even if the guy is accused, even if he actually did what he's accused of, doesn't this still demonstrate that ICE is terrible at daycare? Because after all, when they got the child to the grandmother, the child had a bruise and a rash and a dirty diaper.
Even if the allegations against Quinones are true, that he had a gun in the vehicle and he threw what the Border Patrol says is a rock-like object at the Border Patrol agents, it raises very serious questions about the Border Patrol's ability to care for a young child like the daughter of Mr. Quinones. And I want to read to you a statement that his mother, once he was released yesterday, issued to the public to better understand how his daughter was treated by the agents that you're seeing on the screen right now. She said, "When I picked up my granddaughter from the federal agents, she had a dirty diaper, a bruise on her face, and was developing a rash. She was exhausted and cried. My heart aches knowing this could happen to others, to my kids, or even me, despite being U.S. citizens. We're now questioning our safety and feel more vulnerable simply for being Latino. I fear for my grandkids growing up in a country that targets Latinos and profiles dark-skinned people. I hope things improve, though it's hard to imagine how it could get worse."
Yeah, there's always missing a factor that, you know, those Latinos just not randomly throwing rock-shaped objects at the police. I've heard
love that qualifier.
Helps your chances of not being just selectively targeted for your skin color.
He was throwing rock-like objects. Unclear.
What is a rock-like object?
Probably a rock.
And that came from the cops, so I wonder why they would be nondescript like that.
Racially profiled for engaging in the traditional LA pastime of rock chucking at law enforcement.
Culture. What do you?
And
so what are they supposed to do with the kid? Like he was developing a rash. How long was he in their custody? And, there's always this thing, like you see it all the time. Commit a crime with a child on you, and then be like, I've got a child. You can't arrest me.
Well,
like
this raises serious questions about ICE's ability to manage children. Is it there? Are they supposed to be a daycare? Is that what they run?
No, we should send social workers to round up illegals and
maybe
take a hit of rock-shaped objects.
Maybe the reason the kid had a dirty diaper and might have been in poor condition is because of a neglectful, degenerate father.
Don't go there, Matt. What are you even saying?
At least he was present, though.
You're saying people with brown skin can't take care of children?
Well, when was the diaper dirtied? That's what I would like to know.
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
And when was that rash developed?
Yeah. And the bruise. Did ICE agents really do the bruise?
I need to know the chain of custody and the term.
Yeah.
Or else I can't. Was it 24 hours or was it 24 minutes?
Yeah. Well, they do the thing. Dad has to be arrested for the reasons that are obvious here. If dad is arrested, I'm sorry, he's going to be separated from his child unless you want the child to go to the police station and to jail with him while this is sorted out.
That's my suggestion.
I guess that's what they want.
Families arrested together stay together.
ICE takes the child to the child's grandmother and they still bitch about it.
Right.
They still complain.
Yeah, well, it was you or prison. So next time, take the kid with the dad.
Not only did they complain, the woman said, "I can't imagine it getting worse.
Right.
Leave. If it's so, you can't imagine it getting worse. You are in actual hell. You should leave. Go away."
Yeah.
Anyway, one more for you. In Fitchburg, Massachusetts, an illegal immigrant from Ecuador is accused of faking a seizure to delay the arrest and deportation of his wife, a fellow illegal immigrant, who was previously arrested apparently for attacking a coworker with scissors, stabbing a coworker with scissors. But here's the video of the supposed seizure.
I'm not touching the car. Leave me alone. Look what they're doing. Stop. I got five. Back up. This is my wife. She's having a seizure. They're trying to rip the baby out of her hand. She's having a seizure. Back up. Oh my God, don't touch me. Fitchburg, Massachusetts. This is what's going on this morning. Stop yelling at her. Stop yelling at her because you feel insecure.
It never happened. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication.
Did you think the acting job was good?
Was Kirchhoff in the car with him?
I don't know. Why do we need a gait analysis on the seizure?
It was spastic.
Oh, Okay. Well, the guy's name is Carlos Zapata Rivera. And how do we know it was fake? He refused any medical help and showed no signs of medical problems. In fact, he was just talking to police standing up moments after. On his feet, walking around. So it is believed that this seizure was an attempt to delay or obstruct the ICE arrest of his wife. Now, they're both illegal immigrants. His wife's name is Juliana Malena Ojeda Montoya. It's way too many names. We need to cut down on this. You should all be named Singh so I can read this more easily. But they both entered the country illegally in February 2023, later released into the country by the Biden administration, according to DHS. But only the wife is in ICE custody where she remains pending her deportation proceedings. So why isn't Seizure Guy?
Why did they break up that family? What's going on?
I don't know. And what happened to that kid? Did that kid have a dirty diaper? Because he was holding a child while seizing.
No, we need to reunify this family.
I guess. I think they're both from Ecuador. Or what? The man is. Yeah, she's from Ecuador too. Yeah. There you go.
Together is better.
Let's
do we have numbers on the deportations? I haven't seen, because I keep seeing,
I've seen border crossing numbers.
Is it just the ones we're seeing, or is there like mass numbers going on?
Oh, like self deportations. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I want all of them, like the forced self, like everything. I haven't seen any numbers.
It's got to exist somewhere. I know that they like to tout the effectively 0 border crossings happening each month, but yeah, you're wondering how many people are leaving, not how many people are blocked from entering.
Yeah, that means nothing. I don't care how many.
Well, it's definitely not 0. It's definitely more than it used to be. But yeah, to your point, have I seen concrete numbers?
Like,
not as confident as
94%. You know?
Sorry, what?
Is it more, or are they just more dramatic?
I've seen conflicting information on that, because I've seen people saying this is actually a lower deportation amount than the Obama years or the Clinton years.
Yeah, but I've heard that that's because they were fudging the numbers in the other direction.
Yeah.
So
that's what I've heard too. So I don't know where to get reliable information on that. I do know that there's a serious effort to remove these people, and whatever the numbers are, it's more than they used to be. So I'll take the wins where I can get them.
Yeah. Hey, DHS, because I've followed DHS on Twitter now, on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Great account. They post some dank memes, but start posting numbers, guys. On daily number updates,
and then you can fact check them on Community Notes.
Yeah.
Before we get into the government shutdown, I'm going to take a super chat break. We'll get to your super chats, and then we'll come back to the news, because I got a lot to say about government shutdown and the snap-pocalypse that I guess is now expired, but need a little bit of time for that. So we'll take a break here. We'll check in with super chat. Zach Log, the Great, says, so it's well known that you do not appreciate being called a disingenuous faggot, but we all wonder, if you had to choose, would you rather be called an honest faggot or a disingenuous straight guy? Oh man, love the show. This is a great question, because fundamentally you're asking me to, you have to take something unpleasant or betray the truth. And of course, the truth is the highest value. Everything else is secondary. So here's the thing though. Is it kind of a contradiction in terms? Because honest anything is better than dishonest anything, generally, because the truth is the most important. However, is a life of faggotry, in fact, consistent with the truth?
That's it. Is there such a thing as honest and fag? The eternal question. I don't know if we can even attempt to solve this.
This is a paradox of a question. I don't know that you can.
Are all fags gay? That's the question. If we can sort that out.
To answer it seriously, yes, I believe that man and woman is a fundamental truth, and the union of them is a part of that fundamental truth.
Yes, but is all faggotry homosexual?
Yeah, well, that's another question. Are we just talking homosexuality or other forms of faggotry?
Right, but then even non-homo faggotry would, in some sense, have an element of dishonesty, therefore qualifying it for the faggotry, I believe. Yeah. So, gonna have to. But then
I'm gonna say on it. I'm gonna say, I guess I'd rather be an honest faggot, but then a disingenuous straight guy.
It's like a clean turd, you know. It doesn't.
Because the truth is the most important value. I guess I would rather. I guess I would rather have people say
Matt's an honest fag.
That faggot sure is honest than that guy, that straight guy sure does lie a lot.
That's hard. That's tough.
I guess. Thank you, Sacklog. Injured Guardian. Good news. Bianca Ellis, the butch who slew a child and wounded his mom, has been sentenced. Bad news. It's not the chair. I don't know this case. What is Bianca Ellis? Does that name ring a bell to you?
Nope. Butch who slew a child.
Oh, this one.
It was very like biblical framing.
I think I remember this now. Let me pull this up. I don't know. There have been a lot of cases. Okay, so Bianca Ellis, guilty on 9 charges of the murder of 3-year-old Julian Wood. This is in Cuyahoga County, which is where? Vermont. Stole 2 knives from Volunteers of America thrift store. Walked into Giant Eagle, so some kind of store. Prosecutor said she spotted the victims walking out, followed them, and one way or another ended up stabbing a child to death. I won't get into all the details here, but I don't know if I know this case in detail because I can't remember it. But okay, so she's guilty, hopefully going to prison for the rest of her life at least. If not, he's saying Injured Guardian is saying no execution.
Why not?
I don't know if Vermont has it or if there was some kind of deal with prosecutors. I would guess probably not.
They're too close to Canada to actually punish people.
Basically Canada.
Yeah, I blame Canada.
Injured Guardian says, we must fix Rumble. I despise Neil's censorship. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate all the efforts that Rumble puts in. I think they're the most viable YouTube alternative. A lot of the stuff ends up being a little bit behind YouTube's features, which is a shame, but I appreciate what they're doing over there. So
sorry, something needs to be fixed with this? Just their
just
general rumbleness?
There's a lot of features that are lacking or are buggy.
Yeah.
One thing that drives me nuts, specifically related to Super Chat, is that they don't give me, YouTube will just give me a list. Like I can see, here's all the Super Chat that came in. Read them at your own convenience. Rumble will not do that. The only way I can read Rumble chats is by using a third-party browser plugin that gathers them. And even that is kind of buggy. So you end up missing chats on Rumble.
See, I don't even get that. Yeah. When you're the number 2 guy, just copy YouTube. Like it's right there. Just do that. Do the stuff that they're doing. I don't get what
I don't know. Like I'm not a developer, so it's hard. It's things that seem like they'd be easy to me, maybe aren't. I don't do that for a job. But sometimes it is a little frustrating.
I mean, it's not open source, but it's not like intellectual property, right? It's not patented.
You'd have to develop your own system, I'm sure. You couldn't copy paste the code, but like as far as, again, not a developer, but pieces of software that can gather text inputs and archive them.
Yeah, like come on.
I don't know. It sounds like I'm dumping on Rumble. I will say, for all of the complaints about Rumble that people may have, and a lot of them are legitimate.
Unless maybe, I mean, the one thing I could forgive them is if what it is that it's super data or cost intensive to do it the way that YouTube does, because I know it's basically a loss leader for Google, right? And they were losing billions every year just to keep it running. So maybe it's the way that YouTube functions is just too cost intensive to mimic.
So producer Tim is telling me Bianca Ellis was the black woman with the big smile when her crime was described in court. I do remember that. Jesus. I just don't remember the crime. Thank you for that.
I don't want that in my mind to remember.
But yeah, what I was getting at is any problems I've had with Rumble, when I contact them, they're generally responsive and they generally care, which is a lot more than I can say about YouTube. So, caring is important. Of course, you have to have caring plus accomplishment, and Rumble's doing what they can. But I will say that just as someone who makes material on both, I do appreciate at least being able to talk to a person at Rumble, which is almost impossible. With YouTube, you might be able to navigate a long line of instant messaging chat until you're eventually connected with a guy named Singh who's too busy driving a truck down the freeway and he can't actually help you. If
It's
you
like
get
anything Google. If you use Google
Yeah.
Business or Google Reviews or just trying to get any Facebook, even worse. Yeah. So.
Newbie of Death
Thanks,
Reviews.
Rumble.
He's back, making me push the button I don't want to push. If you read this,
You are gay, LMAO.
at least I'm an honest gay. Yeah. Thank you, newbie. Alicia Ongren. Texts from unknown numbers can be part of the slaughter the pig scam. Don't reply to them. They will keep talking to you to befriend you, then scam you for money. Oh, I love stories about catfishing too much to get scammed for money. I appreciate you looking out, though.
But don't they also? I'm always weary about responding to texts because, as far as I know, and maybe this is different, because you can build in a charging scheme to a text
maybe
number, and so people will. Because I'll get some that are just like hello, because you reply and they can charge you $5 per reply, right? Like it's like those old one.
Like you'll get it on your phone bill or something.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen to me, but I guess I should watch out for
where
it.
you can donate by pressing certain numbers, and I believe they can charge you just for texting that number. So
I just like the troll interaction, and most of the time it's automated. You're not really trolling someone, but the best thing, like a real person. But I know that they sometimes are. The reason I know is because as I was tweeting and complaining about this week, I have to buy my family's health insurance on the federal marketplace. Because I'm a small business operator, and that's the only way I can buy health insurance for my family. And so I spent like hours this week calling up various guys named Singh driving trucks down the interstate, trying to complete the simple task of adding my newborn son.
Maybe that's why they keep crashing, is because they're doing, what do you call it, phone?
Yeah, they double as
they're
help agents for the federal government's health insurance marketplace.
Yeah.
So it genuinely took me about 3 hours to get my infant son added to our health insurance plan. This was like an impossibility. But yes, I can't wait for additional subsidies to prop this program up. Anyway, the point of where I'm going with this is because I buy our family's health insurance on the marketplace, about this time every year when I buy a new policy, I get 1 million texts from representatives and salesmen. Hey, Matt, would you like a quote for your health insurance? And every single time I just reply, get AIDS. And most of the time they never reply. But one guy one time said,
got AIDS?
No, he should have said, I already have it. Joke's on you. No, he said, I understand. I told him to get AIDS.
Wow, that's...
And he said, I understand.
I get it. Yeah.
And we could probably be friends. You know, the fact that he understood where I was coming from, I really appreciate it.
A little
Maybe he had a
sympathy
great
goes a long
insurance
way.
quote for me. Yeah. Probably had an awesome offer I should have listened to. Anyway, thank you, Alicia. I will watch out for the scammers. And next time I get a text from a guy in Nigeria who says he just needs my social security number and credit card to unlock a fortune in my family's name, I will still tell him to get AIDS, actually. But hopefully he doesn't get me. Producer Tim, I jokingly said to myself, does Popeyes not offer coffee? I see. Is it Waffle House or Popeyes? Yeah. Looked it up, and what do you know? They don't serve coffee. So explains why a black woman was being abusive in a McDonald's. Her usual spot doesn't have the drink that could be abusive with or abusive over. Yeah, I guess so. I don't smear Popeyes that way though. Popeyes, when it's done right, that spicy chicken sandwich is...
Yeah, Popeyes is chicken, right? Not...
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking waffles.
They don't have waffles to my knowledge, but fried chicken, it's like a Chick-fil-A, but their spicy chicken sandwich, when it's done right, primo. There used to be 2 in Billings, 2 Popeyes, which is like a couple hours away from me. Now there are no Popeyes. They've all closed down. No more Popeyes in my life.
They're not the no, that's Chick-fil-A. I'm thinking, the Christian one, the base.
Yes,
place,
which everyone pretends to hate for their Christian faith, but yeah.
Right, but the chicken.
Tim also says, what happened to Stormy Daniels? My brain can't make sense of how she looks. She looks kind of like a meth head, but meth suppresses the appetites, and they're usually really thin. So her fat-ass meth head look is confusing so bloody much. I mean, the world wants to know. But yeah, I have no idea what happened to her. Maybe, I guess if her tour is still ongoing, you can go to her tour and ask anonymous questions. And if I could go, that would be the question I would ask. What the hell happened?
Yeah. Success. I don't know.
Maybe.
All that Trump money.
Yakko, over on Rumble, Yakko says, excuse me, I'm not sure what's going on with the J6 pipe bomb or the government shutdown or any of the other government BS. But I did see that Sydney Sweeney refused to apologize to some smug reporter for her good genes, world healing. I've seen all the memes. I've not seen the clip. Have you watched that this week?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so
it's
what
fantastic. Everybody, you already love Sydney Sweeney because she's Sydney Sweeney, but I don't know whether she's like secretly 140 IQ or was incredibly well coached, but it's a master class in exactly how to handle the media and an obnoxious, just the most annoying interviewer of all time, and every answer was just perfect.
So was it was
class, and they were just like, well, but do you want to like what do you call it? Not dismiss, but say that you don't like racism, like the stupid kind of gotcha, like, are you gonna condemn white supremacy? And she's just like, shut up, no. Yeah,
she didn't.
Brilliant and beautiful.
She didn't take the bait.
I don't even like racism.
Yeah. Well, so it was because I keep seeing the memes of her face, but it was more than just the look. Then it was like the content of her answers verbally that shut this lady down.
It was both. It was perfect because the girl's just asking these asinine questions, and she's getting the stare.
So she's got the look. I'll have to watch it.
No.
Yeah.
It's like, didn't it bother you when they were down? She's like, no.
Newbie of Death is doing it over on Rumble too. If you read this,
you are gay. LMAO.
I gotta press the button. Don't make me tap the sign. Don't make me press the button. Appreciate your support for the show. Friendly Neighborhood Fed. Happy week 6 of furlough to my fellow feds. I'm Sikh of all these illegal BIPD drivers. If I see one, I'm calling Trump on that illegal BIPD MFer. I forgot about that one. God, I don't. The lady who says, I'm calling Trump on you, you illegal. Oh, here it is.
I'm calling Trump on you, you illegal motherfucker.
Yeah. That was class. We do need that lady driving around, stopping all these Sings, driving trucks. Thanks for making the sounders public, Matt. Well, I'm glad you used it, or glad it was useful to you. I forgot to mention it. So people have asked me, I mentioned it Wednesday. I think I started this Wednesday, or was it last Sunday? I don't remember. But of course, I've got the soundboard that's like 300 sounders deep. And people have asked me, is it public? Can we have the soundboard? And I don't have a way to just make a soundboard that you can press the buttons. But I do have all the
post the sounds, right?
Yeah, I have all the files. And so I made a Google Drive, a public Google Drive folder of all the files. So if people have use for them, you can actually find the link in the description. You can download all the many soundboard pieces that I have for whatever use you may have.
A lot of people may have soundboards of their own.
Yeah.
Needing to be populated with fantastic
If that's all I contribute to this world is my soundboard, then I hope I've done enough.
It's a very good and honest collection you have, Matt.
Thank you. Even if it is honest faggotry. All right, I'm going to leave it there.
I'll have to just circle back with you.
We will come back to your chats at the end of the show, but for now, we have to get into
government shutdown.
Might be the last time I get to do that bit, so I hope it was a good one. But as I mentioned at the top of the show, let me refresh this. We might have more details since I've gone live. But earlier, like right before live, the pieces of this deal were coming together. According to Politico at this hour, Senate reaches deal in ending the shutdown. So in one way or another, if it's not over now, it's over very soon. Negotiations happened through the weekend. And today, Democrats have agreed on a deal, at least in principle, if it's not already done, to join Republicans to break the filibuster threshold and end the shutdown. And I don't have all the details. As I mentioned, this was breaking as I was going live. It looks like the story is still, let me see what's, oh, it's still the top story on Politico right now. So I assume this is the most current information. Sorry if you can hear that. There are a bunch of,
something.
Yeah, well, for some reason the roads around my house are the preferred racetrack of a bunch of very honest faggots in this neighborhood. And I don't know why they like to rev their engines and drive so fast this late at night. A bunch of Sings driving around at a high rate of speed, and I try to protect my children from them. But anyway, that's what's going on out there. Hopefully they're gone now. So this was developing earlier today. It looks like it's a done deal, but we're going to have something like 10 Democrats join Republicans to break the filibuster and reopen the government and fund the government, different parts of the government.
Do they have to start feeding people again?
There is going to be the feeding of people on Snap. So actually this story has changed because the stuff I had in here highlighted earlier has changed. So anyway, the pieces of the deal that were reported earlier today, it sounds like there's going to be a temporary funding extension for everything, the entirety of the federal government through January 30th while they negotiate on a bunch of specific pieces. But there are going to be special one-year funding packages for Veterans Affairs and military construction. You're going to have 1 year of funding for the USDA and the FDA, which would include, I'm sorry, Mark, the SNAP program, food stamps. You're not going to get any more funny
bad
videos.
Enough now, and we're feeding people.
Yeah, well, but I got a few funny videos to watch momentarily, at least. And then there's money for the legislative branch, as in the operation of Congress will be funded for another year. The agreement also guarantees that federal employees laid off during the shutdown are going to be rehired.
Boom.
So
this is all terrible.
Well, notably absent from the deal is that there are no guarantees for the extension of those Affordable Care Act subsidies, which is what Democrats have been holding out for this whole time. Apparently, Majority Leader Thune in the Senate has promised that there will be a vote on the extension of those subsidies, but that it's not guaranteed that that's going to happen at this point. So what Chuck Schumer was holding out for this whole time, I guess he at least gets a vote later, but that was the Republican position the whole time. Hey, just open the government, man, and we'll negotiate everything else later. Chuck Schumer gets virtually nothing out of this stunt other than pissing off a whole bunch of people to rile them up to vote in Tuesday's elections, which I guess worked out fairly well for his party.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately.
But yes, with that, the supposed SNAP emergency is now over, at least for the time being. There were some interesting updates in food stamp world this week, though, and I mentioned at the top of the show, there's been this ongoing legal battle. You have Trump saying the money for SNAP, the food stamp program, it's out. Congress has not appropriated any money. We can't fund it. The way that SNAP works is it's federally funded and administered by the states. But if there's no appropriation from Congress, then there's no money to give to the recipients through the states. There is an emergency fund, a contingency fund, and there was a challenge that compelled Trump to use the emergency money, but that wasn't even enough to fund the program fully. So there was this question about how that would even happen as a practical matter. There was a court order that tried to get Trump to use the emergency funds. That was challenged. It got appealed to the Supreme Court. And then in what I consider to be kind of a bizarre outcome, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Now, it's not that Ketanji chose to handle this. It just so happened that the challenge came from Massachusetts, and she handles these sorts of orders and challenges for the Massachusetts jurisdiction, Supreme Court appeals coming from there.
Okay.
But she issued an order temporarily blocking the funding of SNAP. And that came out on Friday night. So,
why is that? Is that a political thing? Like, is she doing that because of the elections? But those are over. Was it before or after the elections, or what's her motivation?
It's definitely the opposite of what you'd expect her to do for ideological reasons. I would assume that it's just because there's some question about whether a judge at the district court or the appellate level has the authority to compel the president to use money that hasn't been appropriated by Congress. I would assume that legal question is so clear that even Ketanji Brown Jackson, with her First Amendment confusion, can still understand this.
Yeah, but even if it was clear, she would just do whatever is best for her. So I feel like it's just the Democrats, because this has worked out very badly politically for the Republicans. So keep it going, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have a great answer other than legally it seems clear that you would stop the order to fund until there's some clarification with a full Supreme Court evaluation. But now it's a moot point anyway. And so I guess all the people who are starving, they are going to they're going to be saved if they're not in the stack of bodies already. For all I know, many of the people featured here are already dead. I don't have confirmation of their survival. But
from the videos I've seen, that they were so emaciated that another day or two would be critical.
That's the thing, is I've been following this story, and many have. You know it's bullshit because if the emaciated people actually existed, they would have microphones in their faces. CNN, the rest of the media, they desperately want the starving people. And the starving people largely don't exist. In fact, they maybe definitively don't exist. Last weekend, I played a clip of CNN Jake Tapper talking to a food stamp recipient, and he asked her, what is she going to do? And did she say, well, I might die on the street from starvation? She said, no, I've actually been saving some money for some time in preparation for this. And there's a food bank near me and a church near me.
What are you going to do? Well, I make a lot of money, so, I'll be
Correct.
okay. It's like, hang on a second here.
So if they had the piles of bodies to show, they would be showing the bodies. They don't, and the things they do have to show aren't even close to it. And this one, maybe you saw this one this week, but there was a woman featured on News 12 New York. They're talking to a food stamp beneficiary, a SNAP recipient named Danielle Grant, and Danielle Grant says that she's starving. Danielle Grant is clearly not starving.
It's really bad.
Danielle Grant is starving.
I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can get some food because we literally don't have anything to eat today or tomorrow. So I'm going to try to make it.
I don't think nothing's funny about it.
That one was so absurd that I really had to check. Was this? I saw it circulating on X.
I swear to God, because I saw that, I was like, okay, someone at this news agency doesn't like their boss. Like, I feel like they got given the task. Like, go find a SNAP person, and here's what you say about it. And they were like, fuck you, and went and found her on purpose and got that clip. Because like, even just the timing, I missed her name. It's like, whatever, is starving. And it's too perfect to not have been purposeful.
It's her performance, and you're right. It is the narrative choice of the reporter to use the word starving while putting her face up on the screen.
It's too good. I'm a big fan of whoever put that piece together.
I thought, like, am I being duped by Saturday Night Live or something? No, it is a real presentation from a real news agency. But to your point, could it have been like subtle trolling by the producer or the reporter?
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen that famous clip from Canada? It was on the news, and they're at the airport while there was just the government was doing a terrible job. All the flights were delayed. They sent out their representative. They're at the airport giving a news conference about how all the flights are on time, and the camera guy just pans up to the board that shows delayed.
Or remember the famous CNN? Was it Anderson Cooper on CNN who was like talking about how bad the flooding was in a particular area and making it look like it was so deep.
The guy walking.
Yeah.
So it happens, kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
sometimes
maybe
they're like, yeah, screw you. This is bullshit.
Well, there was also a CNN panel this week. And you have political analyst Ashley Allison, who said that this SNAP funding interruption is having massive economic consequences because the salon where she gets her eyebrows done, they're having to let people go because customers can't afford the salon services anymore.
This is having massive impact. I went and got my eyebrows done the other day, and my eyebrow technician was like, they're going to fire 2 technicians from here because all of our clients don't have money to come. She's not on SNAP.
That's unacceptable.
That's almost as bad as who's going to clean your toilets. Like, if we don't get our emergency food money, how are we supposed to get our nails did?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh shit. Yeah,
so
you're not supposed to say that.
I didn't see the entirety of this CNN segment. I hope someone asked, but they probably didn't. How could it be that food stamps are affecting salon services? Because it means either, to your point, these women are spending the money that they do have on salon services, and then they're passing their food costs off to the taxpayer. Or, as we've seen in Seattle and other places, the food stamp recipients are selling the cards to others for cash. Oftentimes they buy drugs or other things with the cash. In this case, they're buying salon services with the cash. Either way, you are saying that the taxpayers are subsidizing salon services. And if we don't, that's a big problem for you and the rest of your girls down at, I didn't even know eyebrow technician was a job, but I guess that's a thing. And whatever salon this is, if taxpayers aren't paying for it.
You just don't know that because you've never been poor.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Her eyebrows don't even look that great, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that technician is. Are they inserting eyebrows?
Must have been, I don't know. That well, I guess like she's saying, all the technicians are in poverty now, so that's probably why they were not particularly well done.
Maybe.
All right, I have a few leftovers from Tuesday's elections, including, as we mentioned, Sadiq Khan and him discussing New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani. But before I get to that, I discussed the Minneapolis mayor's race a little bit on Wednesday's stream. But if you didn't see, Mark, you have incumbent mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, the guy who cried at George Floyd's funeral. He was believed to have a pretty credible electoral threat from challenger Somali pirate state senator Omar Fateh. And Jacob Frey did survive that challenge. He won re-election, so he will continue to be Minneapolis mayor. And I didn't really look at the results very closely. It was something like 55-45, but they do ranked choice voting there, and it's hard to tell exactly how the support breaks down. But I just figured out, well, there are a lot of Somalis in Minneapolis, but maybe there just weren't enough Somalis to push Omar Fateh over the edge.
Yeah, give it 5 years, and it'll be a permanent.
And then it'll just be full of fellow. What's a person from like a Minnesota?
Minnesota,
person,
but is it a Minneapolis?
Yeah, I don't know. Minneapolitan. How about that?
Maybe. Yeah,
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Tim, if you're listening, what is the Minneapolis demonym? Isn't that the term? I have no idea.
I don't know that either.
Bunch of Somali Minneapolitans, something like that. I just figured there weren't enough of them to secure a victory for Omar Fateh. But this week, reports have emerged that maybe it was a little more complicated than that, as in maybe Somali clan feuds explain his loss. Because according to reports, there was Somali clan rivalry that was a factor here. Fateh is a part of the Darude clan in Somalia. And many Somalis in the Minneapolis area are members of the rival Hawaii, not Hawaii, but Hawaii. Can you see that word? How would you pronounce that? Hawaii?
I can't see that far, and I don't care, and I don't.
Anyway,
I don't want to know any of this. Yeah.
Rival clan doesn't like him. In fact, Ilhan Omar, the congressman from Minneapolis, congresswoman, is also Darude, and these Hawaiis are plotting to get her too. Now, as far as I can tell, this report is speculative. I don't see polling to this effect.
Well, were the Hawaiis running a candidate?
No, they didn't have a challenger. They just don't like him because he's Darude, is the idea. But I don't know. I don't see polling to that effect. I just see the claim. It's definitely possible, but whether it's true or not, if there are Somalis involved, you can bet on civil war sometime soon. And so I look forward to the Black Hawk Down sequel in Minneapolis coming very soon. You know who's Josh Hartnett's from Minnesota, I believe, the lead actor in Black Hawk Down. Maybe he can come back for Black Hawk Down too.
Yeah, I'd watch.
The guy from Captain Phillips is a Minneapolis guy too. The actor, the "Look at me, I'm the captain now" guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, look at me, I'm the mayor now.
Yeah. Oh, here's Tim. Well done, Tim. Thank you for being available on command. It's Minneapolitan.
Oh,
I was right.
Minneapolitan. Huh.
Minneapolitan.
You should change it to Minneapolis-elite, I think. But
Minneapolis-elite?
Minneapolis-ite.
It's a tough one. Yeah, even Minneapolitan is difficult to say. But all right, let's get into this Sadiq Khan stuff, because Sadiq Khan, of course, the Muslim mayor of London. In New York City, you have Zoran Mamdani, who won the mayoral election relatively comfortably. He actually cleared 50% of the vote. So even the combined vote of former Governor Andrew Cuomo and the Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa, that would not have defeated Mamdani. And so Mamdani is now getting congratulated and praised by Sadiq Khan, the Muslim mayor of London.
Well, there are many parallels that New York and London have, and there are many parallels that Zoran and I have. And congratulate the city of New York. They've chosen, in a bitterly contested election, hope over fear, unity over division, and I'm already experiencing the ripples of hope and happiness coming from his victory.
Just a gay Muzzy terrorist.
Now, the AP report here is telling me, well, sure, they have some things in common. Sadiq Khan and Zoran Mamdani.
It's just the hope and the happiness, Matt. That's what they share. That's all.
They're way different. After all, one is from like Uganda and the other's from Pakistan. But they make a class-based difference too. That Sadiq Khan, number one, he's not a political. What they don't use the word extremist here, but he was previously. But they say that Sadiq Khan is more like a center or middle of his party. I don't know if that's true in the UK or not.
Jesus, what's his party?
They say that he's in the middle of the center-left Labour Party, whereas Mamdani is viewed, as a far-left figure in the US.
Okay, anyone who calls the Labour Party center-left. I mean, well, the problem is defining the left currently. It's like, well, they're not Stalin, so they're center.
And of course, he comes from a working-class background. His dad was a bus driver, and his mom was a seamstress. Yeah, Sadiq Khan. But Mamdani came from a rich background. His dad was a Ugandan communist anthropologist, and his mom was an Indian filmmaker, or is. I think they're not dead. They're still around. But they neglect, to the point that you were making earlier, they neglect the biggest similarity here. And it's not just Muslim faith. It's that these are people from different countries who have now come to be leaders of the largest cities in the biggest, or, well, not necessarily the biggest, but maybe the most prominent Western countries.
Yeah.
And we're just going to ignore that similarity and act like really they don't have much in common here. They're philosophically different. They're not united. They're not united by a common theme. And so anyway, it's kind of related to your prior point. Like, is this just like, it's just an Englishman mayor and an American mayor, and that's it,
Yeah. Yeah, not just I don't have eyes or ears or a mind at all, and I don't see patterns, and there's definitely not a coalition of anti-whiteism that's getting these guys elected. That doesn't exist. Yeah.
Well, on that theme, did you see the clip that went viral this week?
Tragic.
You saw this one?
Yeah.
So it's Veterans Day on Tuesday here in the U.S. It is also Remembrance Day in the U.K., which, as far as I understand, is the same holiday. It recognizes the end of the conflict in World War I, and of course is a day of tribute and recognition for our military members, our veterans. And so on British TV, what's the show? Good Morning? Is it Good Morning Britain?
Good Morning Britain.
Yeah. They have a 100-year-old World War II vet. I can't remember exactly what this guy did. I've seen him referred to as a D-Day vet. I don't know what exactly his military history was, but he's a 100-year-old World War II vet. His name is Alec Penstone. And they have him on to discuss Remembrance Day and what it means to him. And he just flat out says it. You know what? All those guys who died, all those guys I fought with, all that sacrifice really wasn't worth it, because the country that we have now was not worth all of that.
What does Remembrance Sunday mean for you? What is your message?
My message is, I can see in my mind's eye those rows and rows of white stones of all the hundreds of my friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. The sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that, though? At this point?
What we fought for, was our freedom. We find that even now it's darn sight worse than what it was when I fought for it.
Yeah, so Islamic takeover and meme police, unfortunately, is what the sacrifice was for.
The really interesting thing about this clip is that it actually was a giant backfire. So Good Morning Britain is like the most basic, normie, pre-screened, toe-the-line show. And this guy is for sure pre-screened. They rehearsed with him. It's not his first time coming on. And what he's supposed to actually be complaining about is Farage and the rise of the right. Problem is he's like 102 years old and couldn't get it out properly. That's why I'm like, wait, what do you mean by that? Because it sounds
That's
terrible.
What he means, though?
Yeah.
When that's what he actually means, or that's what... Are you serious?
Yeah, and that's what but it accidentally came out sounding based.
So he's not even saying, he's not even talking about the
unfortunately.
Islamic takeover in the Maine police. He thinks that
Yeah, he's
wow.
complaining about the right.
The
because
rise of
that's
fascism.
Their framing. Yeah, and that's what they're trying to push.
Oh my God. I did.
And,
well, see, that's what's
he flubbed it bad.
Okay, I was not aware of that intent and context. I'm glad you brought it up. And public opinion in the UK obviously is not necessarily trending that way, or at least there's polling from Ipsos presented in this Daily Mail coverage. And yeah, you can see a lot of shift relative to even 2020, which says, national pride declining in the UK. More people saying they want the country to go back to how it used to be. More people saying the UK is changing too fast. Again, with reference to their views in 2020, these things are getting more divided or stronger in opinion. But to your point, this polling, as far as I see, it does separate based on party or perspective, but it doesn't necessarily tell you the why question. Like the culture in the UK is changing too fast. More people say that or agree with that now than they did in 2020, but why? And I would speculate that it would be the Islamic takeover and meme police things. But maybe you're right. Like maybe half the people answering that say, no, the country is too fascist now. We pretty much lost to Hitler.
Well, and you forgot that the role of the media is to gaslight everyone. And so that's what they're doing. And, it's the far right that everyone's concerned about in this poll, right?
I get, yeah. I actually had not even considered this from that
neither had
perspective.
I, and it was actually I got that perspective from Connor Tomlinson, I believe his name is. He used to be on Lotus Eaters, and he's been doing a good thing. And I saw something this morning where he's from there and gets it. And
they would know, yeah.
That sounds right.
They wouldn't. I don't understand all you cheeky blokes over there, whatever you guys say.
Mate.
So. Is that Aussie, or do they say mate in the UK?
They say mate
right?
in the UK. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. No, they're honest gays. Yeah.
That's all you can hope for in this day and age. Hey, speaking of not being a country worth defending, some might say some similar things about our country, given its state, which is equally tragic. And I hope we can be a country worth defending. And I don't say that with any sort of happiness. I say that with great regret that in many ways I think we are betraying the freedoms that a lot of great men died for and the principles that a lot of great men died for. Whether we're doing that now, we could talk about, but certainly we did that 5 years ago during the height of COVID nonsense, where every authoritarian whim was embraced and celebrated, and anybody who dared question the automatic wisdom of our overlords was not just ridiculed, but of course punished in every social way that we possibly could. And perhaps no governor was more ridiculous in the COVID nonsense era than Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And if you remember, she did things like ban this. She made Home Depot and Walmart block off their garden centers. You couldn't buy seeds. That was too risky in the COVID era for reasons. At the time, they said, if you're not buying food or medicine or other essential items, you should not be going to the store because I guess seeds through which you grow food don't count as food. You might remember she legally harassed.
Wasn't she the one who they tried to the FBI tried to kidnap? Yeah.
Yeah. That was the cherry on top of the ridiculous 2020 Sunday. Right before Election Day, they deployed the Fednapping hoax at her lakeside home. And she also legally harassed that nice barber who just wanted to maintain his business by cutting people's hair during COVID. And they tried to shut him down, made him go through an extended court battle. Then her husband that April during lockdown was caught trying to get a guy to help him get his boat out on the lake. And when they were caught, Whitmer and her husband said, it was just a joke, actually. Because the guy said, hey, will you help me? It would help if I know the governor. He tried to use his status as the governor's wife to get this guy to break the rules to let his boat out on the lake. And then they were caught. And then Whitmer and her husband said, it was a really funny joke. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like the Freudian slip there too.
That's over my head.
Called him her wife.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Her husband. Yeah, that was a genuine accident. Wasn't trying to play any games there. Just trying to be an honest faggot here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Gretchen Whitmer is a guest on this show, Caleb Hammer's financial audit show. And I see clips of this show on X frequently. I'm not extremely aware. It's some kind of, he's like the younger Dave Ramsey or something. This guy is like a show about personal finance, but obviously gets into politics a little bit because he did here. And he's talking to Gretchen Whitmer, and he challenges her a little bit on the COVID nonsense. And she seems to grant the absurdity of it all, but then she just says, well, that was a long time ago. We don't want to relive it. Let's just move on.
Of course. It's only going up. COVID took a little bit. Okay,
COVID
fair enough.
It was hard.
Yeah, it was a little, I'll be honest. I was a little annoyed when I came home for Christmas 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Like, we had to eat outside, but we were inside pods outside. It was a little weird. Then I came back here and then I could just do whatever.
Well,
that was a bit weird, I'll be honest.
But remember what the temperature was. Here, you can walk around outside all day, right? At home,
but if I could
in Michigan, in the winter, we're all inside breathing on each other.
But if I was allowed to be inside, outside, why couldn't I just be inside?
Because you were inside, outside with just your small group of people.
And the servers and bussers.
Listen, Caleb, none of us wants to go back and relive that.
That's
we were
true,
doing the best
please.
we could with very little or very bad information.
I say fuck you.
I think her shirt says "Be brave and kind." It's hard to tell. She's got a jacket on. But you ever see
they had no choice but to default to tyranny and corruption.
It's the best we could do.
Yeah. And you forget, I live in Quebec. We had a curfew.
We didn't have a curfew here. What time was it?
8 p.m.
And if you were caught outside, what do they do?
Fine, arrest.
That's it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That shirt, though, be brave and kind. Do you ever see, I've never seen a guy walking around with one of these shirts. It's exclusively women, but every once in a while I'll be, out at a store or something. And some woman will be wearing a shirt that says, be a good person. And I never will, but I'm in my head.
You know that a witch is wearing that shirt.
Oh, of course. First of all, you're probably the biggest bitch in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
But second of all,
if you have to wear it on your clothing, something is very scary, dangerous wrong with you.
But I just want to approach them and say, I had never thought of that. I'm evil. And I never thought about being good. Thank you for this moment of clarity. I've been confused, living an evil life this whole time, but you have set me on the correct path. Thank you. And of course, what does it really mean? Be a good person. All that means is vote Democrat. Uncritically vote Democrat. That's all that means. It doesn't mean support charity. It doesn't mean be a good friend when you have a friend who's in need. It doesn't mean anything other than vote Democrat down ballot. 100%. If I asked her that question, that's what it would mean. That's true. And so it's like, be a good person. It's just be honest. Be an honest faggot, and wear the shirt that just says vote Democrat, because that's what you mean.
But vote Democrat, Matt. Eyebrow technicians need jobs.
But for Gretchen Whitmer here, even if I take it to what you were saying, even if I take her point, we were doing the best we could with very little or poor information. I remember 2020. It wasn't that long ago. You and the rest of your friends, Gretchen, you were not saying, hey, the information we have is poor and missing. You weren't saying the information is questionable. You were saying this is gospel. This is handed down from the science. Mm-hmm. It's unquestionable. It is authoritative. So, Gretchen, were you lying then, or were you just stupid at the time? And if you were just stupid, it's okay not to know everything to the point that she's making now, but maybe a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of humility. Yeah.
No, they were 100% right then. That's why they don't want to rehash it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. Like, we were exactly. We were 100% correct, but let's not evaluate the degrees of my correctness in any way.
Just don't even remind us about how right we were. We're just sick of it.
We're very humble.
Yeah.
We don't like to pat ourselves on the back in that way.
But we just do not remind us about how many lives we saved. Okay. We've heard it so many times.
Really? Yeah. Just recognize others. Many people do many great things, but she's now trying to say the opposite. Like, we had bad information. When did you realize it was bad? Did she ever have a statement or some kind of explanation later? Pretty much everything we did in 2020 was bullshit. Would have appreciated that. But
well, she should even be careful about just even because the problem is as soon as they admit any kind of anything, they're opening themselves up to litigation and
that's probably
consequences,
true.
Right? So you can never. It's like no. We were. She messed up right there just with that little bit of almost honesty.
Maybe it is as simple as that. No, Caleb, we can't talk about this for legal reasons. But it's so revealing
because of all the lives we saved. Yeah.
If I take her as honest now, which in ways I think this is much more honest than what she was saying back then. Now she's actually saying we kind of had bad information or we were doing a lot of guesswork. Great. I remember that. I remember people didn't have a lot of knowledge about the virus, but when you lack definitive knowledge, it's such an important test about what your reflexes are or what your base principles are. To what do you defer when you're challenged? And this lady and many others deferred to ridiculous authoritarian whims. You deferred to taking away people's rights. You deferred to compromising their freedoms. You deferred to bossing them around like you're their mom. That's what you did when times got tough. So even when times are... we're tested when times get tough. That's when leadership is supposed to emerge. And now she's saying, well, listen, the times were tough. That's why I shit the bed so hard. Well, you shouldn't be in leadership then.
Exactly.
That's
I defer to the authoritarian matriarchal longhouse and safetyness. So tyranny. Yeah. Put me back in power.
You made the point that don't remind us of our success, please. But if she says at the end, we don't want to relive any of that. It avoids the question, why don't you want to relive it? And to your point, it's not because you were so successful. It's because it was absolute crap. Why, on what basis do we not want to relive it? Who was in charge when that thing was lived? And even if I take her point, we don't want to relive it. It was a bad time. I made mistakes. Great. I would like more explanation on the mistakes. But can we get an explanation for what you would do differently next time? What?
Right. Yeah. We don't have to bring up specifics of then. Just like, hey, why don't we run through a really similar scenario now? And what would you do different?
Yeah.
Given the same lack of information. Was anything learned?
Yeah. We don't want to relive it. How would it not be relived? What might you do to avoid the reliving?
Yeah. Maybe we could codify a set of principles.
Maybe.
Instantiating things you can't do in an emergency. That would be really great.
Well, we have lots of things written on paper. We don't have the character in the hearts of men anymore. And that's
the funniest thing is, I mean, as someone who just had a cold this week and was coughing everywhere I went and just nothing, there's no concern. Where's COVID? No, it's just.
You can freely cough in the grocery store and nobody bats an eye. Whereas you would have been viewed as like a guy wearing a vest, a bomb vest in 2020.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, did you see there's a clip, I guess, kind of going viral of a doctor who was on TV in 2020 and he had to cough and he tried to hold it in and he's like,
no, I didn't.
Even if you're on TV, you couldn't even cough because they're like, take him away.
Get him out. Arrest that man.
Yeah.
Send him to Cuomo's nursing home to die with the rest of them. Anyway, all right. I got some hoax hate if you are ready.
Down.
And now the nobody saw it happen, but it's totally a product of Trump's America hoax hate crime of the week.
Ah, shit, it's backwards. You think they'll notice?
There were several morally questionable election results on Tuesday, including, I don't know if you saw, Mark, but the guy in Virginia who was previously texting about how he wanted the then Speaker of the House, Republican Speaker of the House in Virginia's children to die, and that guy to see his children die so that he could learn a political lesson. And when challenged, hey man, are you joking or are you serious? No, I'm definitely serious. I'm dead serious. I want his kids dead. That guy is now your Attorney General-elect in Virginia, Jay Jones. But in Maine, they took it one step further. They actually elected a woman who did the killing, at least a while back.
Jesus.
Angela Walker is a progressive and has been elected to the city council in Bangor, Maine. In 2002, she was convicted of manslaughter and went to prison for 10 years after she killed one of your guys, Mark, a Canadian tourist, Derek Rogers. This guy was actually a sergeant in the Canadian military. I don't know what branch, but Canadian military guy, 47 years old. Angela Walker and her brother kill this guy on the beach. This is Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Her brother is or was a repeat felon. And there was some kind of argument with this guy, this Canadian Rogers. And the pair, the brother and the sister, they severely beat Rogers. He was bloodied, he was suffering, he was struggling, and as he was on the ground dying, they then shoved sand down his throat, and he suffocated to death.
How did they get manslaughter for that?
Yeah, good question. I don't know. They were convicted not of murder, but manslaughter.
Just accidentally tripped and the sand fell down his neck.
It's because there was some kind of fight, I think, between them. So maybe there was a lack of clarity about who was the initial aggressor, I suppose.
And that would be like second degree, no?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it does seem odd that they straight killed a guy on the beach and she got charged with manslaughter, sentenced to 10 years. But what's the hoax hate angle here? Walker maintains that Rogers, the Canadian guy they killed, he called her a squaw. Which is a slur for a Native American woman. She is, in fact, Native American. She is the Penobscot tribe.
I should have just called her that.
I guess. I've never heard of that tribe, but something in your neck of the woods. There was never any evidence that Rogers, the guy they killed, called her a squaw. Of course, it wouldn't justify the killing, even if he did.
Don't ask Black Twitter.
I mean, I guess, did he say the N-word?
Yeah, he said the word.
Yeah. But there, not only was there no evidence, the brother never agreed that this squaw word happened. He denied it the whole time.
Did he get charged too? Or
he also did.
Together? Okay.
Yeah, they both got convicted of manslaughter. She got 10 years in prison. I don't know what his sentence was, but he only did 5 years in prison. She did eight years and change, almost 9 years. But according to the brother, the fight just happened when Rogers bumped into them accidentally. There was nothing more than
that. Sounds much more likely. Yeah.
And yeah, so they both of them get the manslaughter conviction. They both spend under 10 years in prison. She gets out, and she is now a city councilwoman elect in Bangor, Maine. And what does it say in here too? I got to find that quote. Yeah. So it's not just that she killed a guy. Her other qualifications include drug addiction and homelessness. But progressives are framing her.
They gotta love it. She is progressive Jesus.
Yeah. Well, they're calling her her election a motivational comeback.
I doubt it.
So she, as always, the people who can't run their lives are perfectly equipped to run yours. She couldn't get a job at McDonald's to even get the hot coffee thrown at her by Kashara or whatever her name is. She couldn't get a job at Walmart because of her felony conviction, but she now gets to tell you how to run your city if you live in Bangor, Maine. Speaking of text messages that I reply to telling people to get AIDS, Mark, there was a mayoral election here in Bozeman. I don't live in Bozeman city limits, so I don't get a vote. But somehow I'm on the text list. And there were a bunch of idiotic things and a bunch of idiotic mayoral candidates. I forget which one even won. But one of the idiots running on there is a progressive guy, some environmental lawyer who thinks that, we can ban building houses to make housing affordable, that sort of philosophy. But I got a promotional text from him, and the first thing, what was this idiot's name? Maybe I shouldn't even call him out. People could find it if they wanted to. Anyway, I won't even name him. This guy texts me and said, "Hey, Matt," because I'm on the list. "This is so-and-so running for mayor. Blah, blah." It's like sentence 2 or 3. I'm now 10 years sober. Oh, great. Oh, so you were a lifelong drunk up until a few years ago, but now you couldn't live your life. You couldn't successfully lead your own life, but now you can tell everyone else, including builders and developers in this area where we desperately need housing supply. You know so much. You were drinking yourself silly while all these people were actually building houses. But you know way better than them because you stopped drinking for 5 seconds that you're going to tell all them how to do it and you're going to provide housing to everybody. But I thought it was so funny because I get it politically. You're trying to get out in front of a scandal. Mm-hmm. Like this guy would rather be upfront about his history with substance than have that uncovered later and have to explain it, I think is the political calculation. But it was such a bizarre political message. Hey, man, former drunk hobo here seeking your vote.
Or he's running as a Democrat.
Yeah, he was.
Did you consider that? Yeah. See,
Yeah.
He
might have won.
Like that stuff. Yeah.
I should have checked.
Wait,
is
I'm
that
totally inept and crooked and a criminal. Huh?
I wonder if this lady texted, hey,
I'm not drunk right now.
I haven't killed a guy for like 15 years. Oh, wait, this was 2002. It's been almost 25 years, 23 years since I killed a guy.
It didn't happen.
Anyway, amazing. We'll see how the progressive comeback is for this woman in Bangor, Maine. There was a case of what I believe to be a hoax, though there's no definitive demonstration either way. But this is Wayland High School outside of Boston. And dozens of community members assembled Monday to protest against hate at this high school. This after school leaders informed the community that a student discovered one of those plastic children at play traffic safety signs. You drive by like homes in a neighborhood or a school, and there'll be that little green plastic boy looking thing that says, hey, slow down, there are kids here. They took one of those signs and they put a jersey of one of the black students on it. I assume like a football player or something. One of the kids who goes to this school. And they hung the sign with the player's jersey on it by a belt around its neck in the boys' locker room.
Passing cars sounded their support for Wayland parents, teachers, and students coming together as a community after a devastating hate-based incident at the high school. Last week, in a message from the principal, families were notified of a deeply disturbing display found in the boys' locker room. A yellow plastic children at play street sign wearing a black student's football jersey. The figure was hanging from a ceiling pipe with a belt around its neck. As students returned to school Monday morning, the rally aimed to reset the tone of their town. The students responsible have been identified. School leaders told parents the focus is now accountability for their actions, but also support for everyone else in Wayland stunned and saddened by what happened on school grounds.
I think I saw children on the buses waving. I saw people in cars smiling, and that's what we're here for, is to help people feel like people care and they know that what happened is hurtful.
Wayland police are working with the Anti-Defamation League as the investigation continues.
I'm really glad to see there's so many people who are here to do the same thing as me. I just wish it wasn't necessary.
Many of those people probably have AIDS.
You asked about the flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pull that up once more.
Did you preempt me? Or,
No, I don't have a screenshot of it, but I was wondering about it earlier.
So I haven't seen that one yet. Very fascinated.
I don't have a screenshot, but let me pull up the clip and see if I can pause it here.
Passing cars sounded their...
Right there.
Okay, so this flag. Let me play it a little bit more. So it looks like it's almost like a thin blue line flag or something.
Yeah, but it's not. It's too. It's but gay.
Yes, that's
the gay blue line.
Bingo.
Yes, it's rainbow lines and what would usually be. I mean, it's kind of a negative. You got black instead of white, and then I guess what would usually be. That's inverted. I don't know. What would usually be red or white stripes are rainbow stripes, and they say things. I can't read them all. Equality, hope.
What's in blue there?
Oh yeah, that's all. That's all I got.
Be the
I don't know what
change.
the other ones read. Is there? I can't.
Oh, did you see
read the other
that?
ones.
Did you see that one, Matt? Be kind.
Did they have
That's
one?
For you. Yeah.
Oh, no hate, no. There we go. Yes, and look, it's a kid. It's a kid whose parent put her up to it. But thank you. Yeah. Oh, I've been a dick my whole life. I've never thought of being kind.
No, wait. It's be kind.
Oh, exclamation point. Yeah. I don't know if there's another shot. Oh, wait. Here's another shot of the flag. Okay. Can we read more of the words?
Right there.
Peace is another one, but that's all I got. Anyway, as to the story here, the school knows who did it. They say they've found the students responsible. Great. Can we? Normally they don't identify kids who are minors, but do we
it's
have
not a crime though, right? So they should be able to.
That's the weird thing about it too.
Hate
Although,
crime? Can you identify hate crime kids?
Usually they don't, but law enforcement is involved here as though it's a crime. But I'll take your point. Like, what's the crime? Worst case, this is a case of schoolboy tomfoolery that needs a little discipline at the high school. Why is this a law enforcement investigation? But they say they know who's responsible. Can we get a description of who that is? No. Can we see an image of this hanging scene that you're talking about? No. We have no idea what this supposed event even was, who did it, what it looked like. There's no evidence presented. But again, beyond the lack of evidence, what's troublesome is the involvement of law enforcement. You have the police department issuing a statement.
On what grounds? Like what?
Yeah.
What do they call them? We found a dressed up street sign.
Yes. No person should ever be subjected to hate speech, says a police department statement here.
That cop knows the law.
Okay. Yeah. Not a legal concept. Not a matter for police in any way. Maybe a matter for school discipline if they want to have a hate speech policy at the school and discipline their kids accordingly, but not a matter for police attention. But you get the district attorney in this county, Marion Ryan, going to give a talk tomorrow on Monday about hate crimes, presumably including this. But
are you not America? This is not a thing. Like, we got to deal with that shit here. At least, and we're not even as bad as the UK, where they have non-crime hate incidents.
Yeah.
Which is technically what this would fall under had you such asinine jurisprudence.
So frequently I'll get a question from listeners, hey, what are you going to do for your kid's schooling plan? And our oldest is 4, so he'll be going to school this time next year. We still have a year to think about it. And I kind of waffle. Like, we still consider the public school here because it's quite good, according to people I trust and who have the right values. But all it takes is one. I look at, like, am I going to send my kid to spend most of the day with a pink or orange haired person like this who probably manufactures hate hoaxes at school?
The eyebrows match.
Did she dye? Yeah, you're right. That's not a natural hair color. You know what? The problem is there weren't enough food stamps, and so her eyebrow technician.
I don't even know if that's a natural she.
You're right. I have no idea. Yeah. That might be a man. But it's the great eyebrow tech shortage caused by the food stamp interruption, Mark. Right, that's what we can blame for this eyebrow snafu. But
thank you, Katanji.
You subjected us to this. But my sources say this is a school in a pretty rich neighborhood. And I don't know what the racial demographics are, but yeah, if a place like this has to manufacture racism, which I believe this is some sort of hoax or some sort of misrepresentation to drum up racial unrest.
They're not identifying the kid. Like, whenever I see something like this on X, formerly known as Twitter, I just post a picture of Ann Coulter.
The Ann Coulter law, the rule that if the suspect is not identified, that's the other thing, is it might be authentic, but the crime, the stunt here, the prank, was committed by a fellow black student, is absolutely a realistic potential. Yeah. So,
or the student who happened to be in possession of that jersey because it was in his closet.
There are a lot of
meaning he did it to himself.
Yeah, I mean, it could be an absolute Jussie situation. It could be a joke that was misunderstood. The fact that we're getting no information.
Was the small child mannequin holding a sandwich?
Yeah. I'm not going to believe this lady's word for it, this alleged woman's word for it, because she looks rougher than Stormy Daniels, and I'm not about to trust that. But that's all I got. So we'll catch up with Super Chat, and we will get out of here. But let me see where I left off. Let me get this lady's face off the screen here.
Indeed.
And let me refresh. Let's see. Let me refresh on YouTube. Let me come over to Rumble here. Zeke Hill. Hey, Matt, it's Bert. So in regards to the Pajit overtaking on the roads, it's worse than anyone realizes. Most have no licenses. Hit and runs are rampant. Assault is rampant. Fraud, violence. He also says home invasions. We are now low trust. I assume he means maybe truckers. We have shootings, stabbings daily, and many are not reported. No Western Christian values means no care for the sanctity of human life in the least, no order. So Bert, I can't remember, forgive me if I'm missing the reference, but I wonder if Bert I've had this guy checking in on Wednesdays through the voicemail, who is he works at like a truck stop in North Dakota and has been checking in on the developing problem with truck drivers named Singh. So if that's you, Bert, thank you for the updates. And if I've confused you, Bert, my apology. But yeah, I mean, this is probably a tip of the iceberg type problem. The issue of Singhs.
It only gets worse. I mean, we're ahead of you guys here, and we've had. I mean, the worst one is in my home province of Saskatchewan, where the guy killed a whole junior hockey team.
Was he? What was the situation of that? Was he like a semi-truck driver?
Yeah, look up the Humboldt Broncos. That was a huge tragedy about 10 years ago, and
the whole team. He killed them all. Gee, it must have been an insane crash, man.
Yeah, it was.
Was it in like crazy territory? Did they go down a hill or something like that?
No, just T-boned him. T-boned the bus.
It was just that strong of an impact. It must have been crazy.
Yeah. And no, we have here, it's constant. It's just constant accidents because it's been going on. And then the problem is they get in and then we have a bunch of foreign temporary worker programs where the government gives wage subsidies, and then they use nepotism and hire all their own and get them into the country so they can hire them. And they've basically just taken over the entire trucking industry.
You know what I can't figure out that keeps happening around here? I know it's happening across the country too. There are a lot of illegal immigrants here for the same reasons they're in all sorts of parts of the country. And there's a lot of drug trafficking on I-90 too, because I'm kind of in between Seattle and Minneapolis. And you'll see a lot of illegal immigrant traffic around here. By that, I mean like the presence, but I also mean the actual road traffic. And repeatedly, illegal immigrants are driving the wrong way down the interstate. And the reason that confuses me is because it's not like they're coming from countries where that's the norm. You drive on the wrong side of the road.
They're coming from the UK or Australia.
They're just, I guess, because they're crazy, like drugged out of their mind or drunk.
I'm sure you've seen the video of them walking the wrong way up the escalator. It's
I've not seen that one.
Oh, no? There's a few. They're always like burqa clad, just plowing away up the.
I used to do that as a kid for fun because it was challenging, you know?
No, they do it because they're challenged.
I've not seen that one, but yeah, like other than you're insanely intoxicated, why are you doing this? But the thing is, like, Montana as a state has a significant drunk driving problem independent of immigrants. It's a state that is geographically large. Drinking is unfortunately a preferred pastime of many, and you have people driving to have their drinking experiences and to get their alcohol. So we're no stranger to drunk driving and driving under the influence in this state. And yet, the only time I seem to see this driving the wrong way down the interstate thing is people who generally have questionable presence in this country.
Yeah,
and I just don't get why.
The drunkest Montanan will still manage to drive on the right side of the highway.
It seems so.
Remarkable. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that trend is about.
There's things that are just beyond explanation that happen all the time. Like there are toilets at our beaches, yet we now need signs instructing people to use them.
Injured Guardian says Bianca Ellis, that he was chatting earlier about the woman who murdered
the psycho.
Who murdered the kid, this woman. He says she was the one with bad tits smirking at the trial.
That's disgusting.
I do remember that photo now. Thank you. That one triggered my memory because they were like.
Were they that bad?
It was like two bowling balls in socks hanging from her chest.
Oh,
yeah, I don't have the photo handy, but she is also worse than Stormy Daniels in that regard. So that does trigger my memory. Thank you for that. VV, regarding aggregating super chat, it's not that complicated. You're not wrong, Matt. The chats come in sequentially. It can go into a read queue and then sit waiting across multiple thousands of channels. It's a bit more intense. Yeah, I'm sure that the Rumble is probably processing. Who knows? It could be as many as thousands of super chats a minute. I have no idea. So I'm sure the data volume is fairly high, but as far as like the basic idea of data comes in here, catalog it there, if you're running a website that is taking in something like this stream thousands of times simultaneously, I mean, that's a load of data that is so much larger that you would think.
Well, and also because a super chat is a paid feature, right? That they could ostensibly be taking a slice of, and therefore use that money to make the feature work better.
Yeah, I don't know if Rumble's still doing zero
how
fees.
money makes things.
Yeah, for a while they were not taking anything off Super Chat, which is great from a creator perspective. Yeah. But to your point, like, does that help the development of the platform? I don't have a problem.
I'd rather like take a piece and get me more.
I agree. Like if you could take 5-10% to develop the platform, or if I could even opt into that, I might opt into that just because I want a viable competitor to YouTube, and it's still way better than YouTube's absurd 30%, which is just ridiculous, and that's what they go with. But yeah,
30% is brutal. I can't believe that's even legal.
Well, I mean, you can turn it off at any time. You can just say, no, I want to opt out of Super Chat. But if you want to participate in Super Chat, that's what they're taking. And, they got to make money. They got a platform to build too. Again, my standard is not zero, but it does seem pretty excessive. Like, you've built the infrastructure, YouTube. I grant that, and I appreciate it. I've used it for years. It needs to be supported, insofar as you're willing to support us too. We have a mutually beneficial relationship here, but YouTube
someone's got to invent like a PayPal-esque third-party, easy-to-use money donating thing.
There's Tippy. There is Streamlabs. I got banned off Streamlabs. Part of a wave
you can't do donations through Streamlabs. Like Streamlabs.
Oh yeah, you can.
Oh, you can. Yeah.
Yeah. At least you could.
Just for streaming. I didn't.
Yeah,
know
you could. But there was a wave of bannings like maybe 5 years ago. I was part of that. They just banned a bunch of us in a group, and they banned me there.
I used StreamYard. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know if StreamYard has a feature or not, but Streamlabs does. I'm banned from that. And Tippy Stream allows you to do it, and that works well, but it's through PayPal. But that's the problem is PayPal has had its own censorship episodes. Mm-hmm. So if you're just using...
They take a big cut too, right?
I think if you're sending to friends, usually they only take cuts of commercial exchanges. Now, Super Chat is something... I mean, technically it's a commercial exchange, I guess, so they probably take like whatever their small percentage is, a few percent.
Yeah, I think it's 5, something like that. It's like a Visa transaction fee.
But so people have built that sort of thing, but yeah, it would be nice to have like a fully independent thing that these platforms couldn't mess with, and that ideally was decentralized in a way that nobody could mess with. So you can't block people's payments and you're not taking an insane fee, but the kind of the trend toward finance and banking decentralization, I guess it really hasn't hit Super Chat that much. There's got to be, that's the other thing is like, is there a crypto Super Chat?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, use Bitcoin and donate Bitcoin. But then,
I would love to, but I'm not aware of one that operates, that does Super Chat in that way.
So,
yeah.
See, there you go. Someone go invent a Bitcoin chat feature.
I think there was one a while back. I remember someone developed one and sent it to me, and I think I had it enabled for a while, but it just wasn't really used. And frankly, like I didn't do a great job promoting it as an option either, but I know people have tried.
Yeah, well, that's the hardest part, is getting enough market penetration that it becomes ubiquitous, and that's basically impossible. So.
Tortuga, I'm late to the Snap party, but you need to add weight to the qualifications, or they need to add weight to the qualifications. I'm a heavyweight, and some of these women on Snap outweigh me by a good 50 pounds, or make grocery store doors narrower. That's kind of funny. You go to like San Francisco or these bigger cities where theft is a big problem at the grocery stores. Have you ever seen these?
Just put up bollards.
The shopping carts that have a giant pole on them so you can't roll them out of the door so the hobos won't steal them.
Oh, is that? I've never seen that.
Yeah.
We have the ones like a pole, but they're just, I thought that was just like for little kids so you can see where your kids are.
Maybe.
Like a flagpole on them, but no, I've never seen theft.
No, these are definitely anti-theft. So you're not allowed to take the shopping carts out of the store because all the hobos take them.
Yeah.
So could you just make like more man-sized doors that you have to enter, and if your body doesn't physically fit through the doors, sorry, you need
Yeah, well, we have those here at grocery stores here. They'll have like bollards, like posts sticking out of the ground about 1.5 feet apart that you can't get a cart through.
Oh, that's how they do it. They're kind of like cart traffic barriers.
We put the posts in the ground instead of on the carts.
Yeah, okay.
And just make those higher so that fat people can't get through. It's perfect.
Well, we got to do something, Tortuga. This is a national problem. I agree.
That's unacceptable.
Injured Guardian, the government has no emergency fund. They're $37 billion in debt. I guess technically they were sitting on some pile of money that's reserved for SNAP, but to your point, if I, as a normal person, had $37,000 in credit card debt, or I owed $37,000 on a car, and I was sitting on like $500, what is my financial situation? Should I spend that $500 that deep in debt? Should I spend it on some other fun thing, or should I probably get my debt under control, get it seriously?
Eyebrows only, and then
or get serious about it. Yeah, I would get my eyebrows done. Yeah, that's what I would do. I'd make sure all the eyebrow techs are properly taken care of.
Supposed to go out in public without.
Well, people always talk about like the idea that the government's debt doesn't matter. And
there's it depends how Keynesian you are, and modern monetary theory would argue that debt is good and no one's going to pay it back anyways. So
to some extent, in the same way, like I believe the debt in my home is good. There's debt I'm glad to have as a consumer, but that doesn't mean that being in debt up to your freshly manicured eyebrows is a good idea. But the idea that the government's debt doesn't matter to any of us. The government is either going to have to tax us to pay for that sort of stuff, or they're going to have to inflate the currency to pay it off. That will come down to us eventually, whether we pay it directly or not. Unless, I guess, the theory is just that like none of the debt collectors of the world will ever actually care about the debt. Is that the theory that they have?
I guess.
They'll just borrow to us infinitely?
Yeah, you just keep accruing debt to infinity as long as they pay back enough of it that the bonds they issue can still...
So that's the thing. It's just like as long as they're as long as it's the least shitty country
doesn't crash, then it's kind of a great system. Yeah.
I was talking to my guest last week, Kyla, who's left-wing perspective progressive, and she's good faith. I like her, and but we were talking about whether the dollar is strong or not. I made some joke about like this country collapsing, but her response is, yeah, but relative to the rest of the world, it's strong, and I guess that's true. Like as long as your currency is the least shit, you still have like some stability in that way. But
yeah, but I mean, you are running the risk of some other country getting their shit together and then you're toast. So it's better to not be a jackass.
The worse your financial house, the easier it is for someone else to build a better financial house. Yeah, and become more trustworthy. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Injured Guardian. Also says, replace SNAP with MREs, meals ready to eat, as in military equipment.
I've never understood why there isn't just like a government rice, potatoes, eggs.
Yeah,
and you can go and get your weekly allotment of that, and there you go. I don't feel bad. You have food. You're not starving, and go eat all the rice you want.
It should be as inexpensive and uncomfortable as humanely and safely possible. Like I don't want these people eating maggot oatmeal.
You should because having been someone who's had to be healthy and get into good physical shape, the number one rule is take the fun out of eating.
Yeah,
and then you'll never overeat. And same with them. As soon as I see a fat person, I know they're eating garbage because you can't get that fat on rice and potatoes and boring ass food because you'll just stop eating when you're not.
I can get fat on potatoes. I assure you.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
I can definitely do that. But yeah, food discipline is tough though. As far as like, if only it was as simple as work out as hard as you can to be in incredible shape. There's definitely like a.
Yeah, no, it's 80% diet.
Yeah, it sucks because I would way rather do a bunch of hard physical labor than have dietary discipline. Dietary discipline sucks.
Yeah, but again, the boiled eggs.
Yeah,
you can only eat like 6. And you're full, and you have no desire to eat anymore. And it's just if that's all you have. When I was modeling decades ago, what was in my kitchen was boiled eggs, tuna, and almonds and apples. You will never overeat.
Yeah, it's so habit based too. Like once you train your brain to expect and want those foods, and you've created new habits in that way, and your body not only expects them but is satisfied by them. Then you don't have those weird cravings. Like you have to forget how awesome all the other stuff is. And I've done that periodically in my life. like, oh yes, this is awesome. I'm eating great and I'm just drinking water and I don't consume any of these vice things. And I do it like I last a few weeks and I'm like, no, it was awesome before though. I'm gonna go back to all the garbage I love eating.
Or the holidays will happen and you'll just eat garbage for 2 weeks and then it's really hard. But your brain, your body will also automatically default to whatever the funnest thing is within whatever you're allowing yourself. So go 2 weeks without sugar and junk and you'll be like, I'm really craving those almonds.
Yeah.
Well, you just adjust and it becomes your default. So you just got to get through that withdrawal period. Of
it's an area of discipline in my life that I would like to master, and I can't. But it's kind of on my long-term list. Every week, it's like, my wife does our grocery shopping. I tell her to get a bunch of here's like healthy food I want you to buy for me. And then it sits in the fridge and goes bad because I'm like, no, this is the week I'm going to eat that.
I always have to throw out rotten vegetables no matter what.
Yeah. So
I was going to eat broccoli.
Yeah. I'm going to get there, though. I'm going to commit to it eventually. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I doubt it.
VV, you spent too much time on this. It's obviously Minneapolite duct tape bastards. That makes sense. Minneapolite.
Yeah,
it kind of fits into the Minnesota Nice theme, although Minnesota Nice is kind of I don't know, it's kind of bullshit too. There's a lot of people there's a lot of people in Minnesota who wear shirts that tell you to be kind, if you know what I'm saying.
Shitty people.
They love to tell you how good they are. Now I don't know, Minnesota. I have a lot of appreciation and love for that place. That's where my entire family's from. A lot of my family's still there. I definitely could live in Minnesota if it wasn't overtaken by the insane people. So that's really unfortunate. It sucks that the place that my family was southern Minnesota and western Minnesota, like farm country Minnesota. They weren't Minneapolis, so it's not like I have ancestors who built the city or the twin cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, but I know that's where my family came from. They all came from Denmark and northern Germany. Actually just did one of the ancestry DNA tests. I should show it maybe. It's like everybody in my family came from this one particular spot in Denmark.
Oh, but you actually sent in like human as a sample? Okay.
Yeah.
I just found there's one you can go, I don't remember the URL, but there's one that just looks at your picture and it's AI.
Really?
Bang on. I ran into it because of the ethnicity thing. It's like, so I was just grabbing snapshots of Muslim, British Muslim MPs and putting them in this thing. I was like, oh, look.
So you can judge India. A book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that. And AI is really good at it.
The only surprise in mine, it was exclusively from Denmark and northern Germany. And the only surprise was I have like 2% Basque. So like that area of northern, it's like northern Spain.
Okay.
So there's some kind of Spaniard in my history. And there's a little bit of like Eastern Europe too. So like basically the entire Baltic Sea region is the entirety of my ancestry. And then like a Basque guy.
And
I picture like that guy
in Minnesota. Were they farmers or what's the?
But so the Danes in my family came at like late 1800s, early 1900s. That's my dad's side of the family. My mom's side of the family is northern German, and some of those date back earlier. Like they went to Wisconsin and these generally similar part of the country, but they were here earlier, like early 1800s. So I looked at my family history on there, and you can find my great-great-grandparents. I went back to like the early 1800s, like 1810 or something. And they're pretty much all known except for there are a couple mysteries in there. But yeah, I was just trying to like, do I have some weird, are there any gay Muzzy terrorists in my family history? I couldn't find any except for this Basque guy who I don't know who it is, but I picture like that guy from Princess Bride, you know? Like that Three Musketeers looking dude. He's in there somewhere.
Inigo Montoya?
Yeah. That guy's in my family history somewhere. And a bunch of Minneapolites, too. Thank you, Vivi. Bunch of Minnesota nice Minneapolites.
There you go. It's better than Saskatchewanian. So,
that's a tough one, too. But, I never thought of how telling the famous phrase from Tim Walz, really is that he uttered in the debate this time last year.
I've become friends with school shooters.
Because that's kind of Minnesota nice in a nutshell. I've become friends with school shooters. Yeah. I'm so nice.
That's perfect.
I'm so nice that I have like no moral distinctions, actually.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah. Anyway. Injured Guardian, you too can do what Dave Ramsey did. If you start out with his mother's money and connections, he blocks folks on Facebook or X for citing them. I don't know his family history, and I'll hear Dave Ramsey on in the car sometimes, and frankly, I find his financial advice to be perfectly reasonable in almost everything I've ever heard. The one thing he said, he's like totally anti-credit card, which I get on principle. However, I like using credit card because there's so many
credit card or credit card debt.
Just debt of any kind, but by extension, credit cards.
Yeah, but I have tons of credit cards. I just pay them every month.
Correct. And the benefits are great.
You get a ton of points, and I get a free vacation every year.
For our family,
never don't pay them. That's the only rule.
You don't spend money you don't have. Yeah. But if you're disciplined,
I use them as a payment method, not a borrowing method.
Yes. Yeah, and if you're disciplined in that way, like our family, God, it might be, I don't know, it's usually at least like, I don't know, $50 a month or something in cash back, sometimes more, depending on what our spending needs are. But that's, some groceries or some diapers or whatever for free. Why would I not take that? Mm-hmm. So just don't overspend. But yeah, I get some people, for the same reason I can't stop eating pizza and stuff.
Yeah,
they don't have financial discipline.
Hard. But that's, I remember when I was like a teenager, I'd made, like every 19-year-old, you get that first Capital One card and you max it out immediately and then never pay it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you're supposed to grow out of that.
But I didn't know about Dave Ramsey's past. Apparently he was born on third base and thinks he hit a triple, huh? I'll have to investigate. Tim also says prosecutors thought the two siblings implicating each other would compel a jury to acquit both on reasonable doubt. So they reduced Angela's murder charge to manslaughter and allowed her to plead guilty, which resulted in a 10-year prison sentence. Interesting. Okay. So something about I don't know, this is the woman who won the election and won city council election in Maine and killed the guy. But it's something
why
about
did her brother have a shorter term than her? He did 5 years.
I think the fact pattern was that she did the sand stuffing and he just kicked the guy's ass. So there was like a little bit of difference in their behavior.
Right.
If I'm understanding correctly.
Accessory, not. So then he should have gotten manslaughter and she should have gotten murder.
What I read was the brother initiated the physical fight or was the first to be physical with the guy, kicked his head in or did severe head damage by kicking and also stomped his chest. So it was got him down on the ground and just stomped him a whole bunch. So it's a question of what I assume, did the brother kill him? Would he have survived if it weren't for the sand stuffing down his throat?
I've heard apparently just kneeling on someone is murder. Yeah. So yeah, it's not lining up here.
I assume
bias in the system.
Anyway, thank you for the clarification, Tim. He also says, Matt, you're being really unfair. Of course, Sings are crashing trucks. Do you have any idea how hard it is to drive a truck and shit in the street at the same time? You try sticking your ass out the window and reaching the pedals at the same time while handling my YouTube complaints and also making sure that I can add my infant son to our health insurance plan. But that's what was so baffling about that, Mark, is you would think that I was calling these people with the most complex question imaginable. And all I was trying to do was get my newborn son on my existing insurance policy. And this was eventually,
there's nothing more standard. I have this, and now I have a child, and I want to add him to it. Every other living person.
Yes.
This. Yeah.
And it was a classic situation where all these different offices are blaming each other. I talk to the insurer, but they tell me I have to talk to the federal government, but the federal government tells me I have to talk to the state government, and everybody's pointing me in a different direction. And eventually I call the federal government marketplace, and I get the right guy. And of course, everybody I talk to sounds like they are they're about to go to the eyebrow tech, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But I talked to the right guy, finally, who maybe isn't worried about eyebrows or has worked this job. Yeah, DE eyebrows for sure. You get different answers from different people until you talk to the right guy who knows how to click the button. And he clicks the button. Maybe it's that he didn't have fingernails blocking his access to the button. I couldn't tell. But he clicked the button correctly, And now I finally got my son on my insurance policy. So a minor miracle. But anyway, surely if Chuck Schumer's right and we just hand over a bunch of subsidies to these insurance companies, it's going to get way better. Every once in a while, someone phrases something in such simple, just such simple terms. You think, God, that's such perfect phrasing. I wish I would have thought of that. And now I can't even think of what the person said because I read it earlier today and it's not fresh on my mind anymore. But fundamentally, Democrats, what they're telling us about the Affordable Care Act, of course, a Democrat passage back in 2009, 2010, whenever that was, it was supposed to fix healthcare back then. But of course, healthcare hasn't become more affordable despite the name. And now we need more subsidies still some 15 years later to keep it or make it affordable. But the fundamental premise is Americans can't afford the insurance premiums. So the government's going to do what? It's going to tax you to give the money to the insurance companies to pay for the premiums that you already can't pay for. So all we get is a middleman in this exchange that is unaffordable. But the middleman has an infinite money printer, per our prior discussion. But just in principle, when you think about it that way, like, hey, there's a giant TV at the store that I can't afford because it's too nice and fancy. But if a guy comes up to me and says, wait, you give me your money first and then I'll go buy it. Okay, I guess, but I still can't afford it. So where's the money that you're using? Where'd that come from? How can I afford that TV all of a sudden? Is this a magic trick? In what hidden ways am I paying for this TV, sir? Or are you just stealing it? Which the government also deals in.
Yeah. Well, and now there's a guy in the middle getting paid. So everybody wins. Right?
Yeah. Well,
that's how that works, right?
Hope you enjoyed your Snap show, and congratulations on everybody who survived the great all-time record government shutdown. What was it, like 40 days?
Did it qualify? As
the record. Longest one.
All right.
So congratulations on all who
exist to be
survived.
broken, guys.
We'll try again next time. All right. Anything else you want to discuss before we're out of here?
I think we did a really good job. Covered all the fun stuff of the week.
You didn't even cough. I didn't hear.
I was on that mute button. So smooth, you didn't even notice.
Well done. Yeah, this wasn't even that much of a duct tape production tonight. So I appreciate that.
I'm getting better.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody who is tuning in live. Thanks to our live chatters, super chatters for making the live show a success. But hey, if you're listening on demand later, thank you as well for supporting the show. Very much appreciated. Thanks to Mark Aaron for sitting in tonight. Follow him on X at LibertyMAaron, right there, linked in the description for you. Thanks to producer Tim for his assistance, as always, and keeping me in touch with all the facts about how exactly this murdering woman in Maine, who's now a city councilwoman, murdered that guy 15 years ago. Anyway, appreciate Tim's help. Find everything show related at mattchristiansenmedia.com or mattis.gay if you prefer brevity. And remember, honestly gay, as we've clarified tonight. Thanks to the super chatter on that one. I'm back on Sunday and Wednesday nights, but have a great night and a great week in the meantime. M. Night Shyamalan's The Snappening. Shout out to the super chatter for the one right before the buzzer there. Appreciate it.